What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Season Gaming Bitcast. Today, episode 128. Dan, it's hard to believe, man. I keep looking at the number of the Bitcast and thinking, have we really been doing this for that long now?
It's insane, man. It really is.
It doesn't feel like it.
Well, no. And yes.
I'm exhausted.
But that might be everything else that's going on. Then it's less the show. It's just like, man, dude, we were just doing this. I swear.
Yeah, it feels like did we do this yesterday? Welcome everyone to Season Gaming Bitcast. You've got myself, Ains, Porsche Power. We've got Dan. Who's on your sack boy, man?
You know, bitches.
And we're off and running. All right. and joining us back again. A pleasure to have our pal Eric back to the show. Welcome, sir. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Thanks for having me again, man. I had such a good time last time. When you guys reached out again, I was like, absolutely, man. I don't always get to catch you guys live. You know how the weekends go. We only get so much time to do whatever. But anytime I can, man, I'll make time for you guys. You got a great show here. You guys are, great to talk to on Twitter. Great to talk to you here. Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate it.
It's always an honor, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it. No, it's great to have you. And funny enough, as we invited you, we thought it was a little bit of a calmer week, but past 2 days, there's been a lot that's actually gone on. Right. So we've got a lot to talk about today. So we're going to be touching on Xbox and our favorite word here, ecosystem. And we're going to be talking about some of the comments Phil Spencer made in an interview. We're going to be talking about Ubisoft and their new Connect infrastructure, which sounds really cool. We're going to discuss our plans for next gen, like our final plans now that we kind of know what the final launch lineups and, what the November 10th and 12th are going to look like. And then we're going to talk about PS5s finally being out in the wild and a few other game releases and demos and whatnot. So let's go ahead and get into it, man. So welcome, chat. Good to see everyone, all of our regulars here early. Appreciate it. So let's get into it. Let's start with Xbox because this kind of made some waves yesterday. Came out of an interview from a kind of an industry site that actually, if you go to find the original interview on the site, you can't see it because it's a paid industry publication. But Tom Warren and some of the other kind of major outlets, The Verge, etc., kind of summarized some of these core comments. And it's really around kind of the future of two things, really about the future of connectivity to Xbox as a whole, as well as the future of Game Pass, which the future of Xbox is Game Pass, as they've been saying pretty much all year and we've been talking about. So I think the interesting thing here, especially for us, Dan, because we've been actually talking about this for a long time now, is really how people will connect to Xbox in the future and what things like xCloud and Game Pass give them the opportunity to do. Shameless plug here, but I actually went back when we put this up on the site and went back to the article I wrote about Xbox as a service. And didn't realize, talking about time flying, didn't realize I wrote that in February of last year, of 2019. Mm-hmm. So this conversation has been kind of building for a while now. So I thought it was interesting to hear Phil speak about it. So let me just read this quote, guys, and then can get your thoughts on this. So he said, I think you're going to see lower priced hardware as part of our ecosystem. When you think about streaming sticks and other things that somebody might want to just go plug into their TV and go play via xCloud. You could imagine us even having something that we just included in the Game Pass subscription that gave you an ability to stream xCloud games to your television and buying the controller separately. So he further commented here and basically said in the future, going on to that, there could be Game Pass tiers. Like right now we have Game Pass regular and ultimate. But he said, something like Platinum, which would guarantee you access to additional or future Xbox hardware. So your thoughts on this, guys, around, as we look at the Series X and the Series S, two consoles they obviously spend a lot of time and development money on. It's going to be really interesting if we get to a point where instead of traveling, instead of going to your mother-in-law's house or a vacation or whatever and having to bring a console with you, or even connect natively via xCloud, that you'll just have a little kind of Fire Stick, if you will, an Xbox stick that would work on any TV, right? You wouldn't need an app at that point because that hardware could give you that Wi-Fi connectivity to the application. So thoughts on this? I'll start with you, Eric. Is this something that you've been interested in, you could foresee using in the future?
Yeah. That funny thing is, when I saw that come up, I hit Enrique up in our DM for BRAP.
Yep.
Because we talked about this like years ago.
Yep.
And I think, and it's not like we were like some future seers or whatever. You can kind of see like where things were going. This is kind of first when we started hearing about something like Game Pass, or even hearing about xCloud before it actually had an official name. Yeah, I said I could totally see them one day, or somebody getting to this point to where you have a dongle and you just literally have that in the back of your TV for like streaming purposes. Yep. And here we are. So I'm 100% not surprised at all that they're taking this direction. That is something I would have around. Like I said recently on BRAP, and I said it on excuse me, on Gaming Perspective. I don't travel that much, so I probably wouldn't use like something like xCloud that often, just because if I'm home, I'm most likely going to be on my console, right?
Sure.
But when I'm out and about, I've done it before. Like if I'm going to be somewhere for a few hours, I'll definitely take a Switch with me or whatever. So plus I'm on iOS, so you know how that's going right now.
Me too.
But something like this will be like fantastic, man. Like when you're on the road, you're in a hotel room or whatever, and you may not want to like, you sit there with your phone, you just pop it in the TV and get rocking. Now that's pretty awesome, man, honestly. And again, doesn't surprise me at all. In fact, sorry. No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, in fact, as part of this, they showed a kind of not a demo unit, but something they were playing around with all the way back in 2014. Mm-hmm. So, really at the start of this generation, which shouldn't be surprising because Xbox has been heading this way for a while. But it's kind of strange, I guess, to think that this could actually be reality in the very short term. So, Dan, I know you and I have talked about this a lot as well. And in particular, we were even talking about it yesterday offline around, the difference between a native application versus a plug-in dongle like this. But
right.
Your thoughts?
Yeah, I still understand the whole hardware thing. I mean, I understand putting an app on a TV, assuming that TV can run it. But, you also have different kinds of sticks out there now, right? You have like a Fire Stick, then you have like a 4K Fire Stick. So, I don't know if that's, why that is, why. Yeah, it's hard to explain. Like if I can have that app natively just on my TV, assuming my TV is 4K, does it, you've dealt with, the application development and stuff like that. I mean, maybe not obviously this, but it's more, I'm still confused on the whole thing. Now, I've been saying as far as the dongle, it should have been something they did a long time ago. And they did. It was actually supposed to be presented, if I remember correctly, at E3 2016. That was Project Hobart. But instead, they kind of gave you the Series X, the Scorpio preview there.
The 1X. The
1X. God, I still hate these names. The 1X, right, the Scorpio edition. Anyway, so this has been something they've been throwing around for a long time. Now, that project, I'm pretty sure, according to Brad Sands, I think it was, it got scrapped. And they, are now here. But now you've got a system and a service that can fully take advantage of something like this.
Yep. So
this is a no-brainer for me. I mean, if you want to, you travel a lot, and even taking the Series S with you, which is much, much better than taking the giant, X or PlayStation 5. This would be even better.
PlayStation 5.
Yeah. Right. You have to check that into
coming through, guys.
Right. It's like an extra thing when you fly, but this, I mean, you could literally carry it in your pocket.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it'd be great. I mean, I would get one just to see what it's like.
No doubt.
So, I mean, I've got Luna, try that out a little bit.
How'd that go?
It was like the picture was fine, however, the input lag with the Xbox controller connected Bluetooth to my Fire Stick was garbage. Yeah. It was hot garbage. It was so bad. I tried control and I ended up running in circles. and like there's nothing I could do to stop it. Metro Exodus, I would shoot, and sometimes I would shoot 3 bullets, sometimes I would shoot 1, sometimes I would shoot none, when you pull the trigger. So it was just a mess. So I'm hoping once that controller comes in, I'd like to see how that does it, because it's supposed to connect directly to the server as opposed to your Bluetooth device.
Which is what Stadia does too.
Right. And that's the thing, we're there now where we can do this kind of stuff, and now it comes down to, what can you provide at what price? Amazon's huge, and
a little bit.
But it doesn't cost much either. You're looking at $6 or so.
That's a trial though. That's not their final price.
Well, that's what they said. The trial is like $6.
Yeah, the early access is $6.
Yeah, and I think it's like they said, isn't it $7? Didn't they give you like $1?
But they've said that's early access. That's not going to be their final price.
Right. Yeah, we'll see how much that is. So it will come down to and then what content can they provide you?
Yeah.
And right now, obviously, they don't have any first party anything. They did for a second, but
that game didn't go so well.
No, it didn't. So, but we'll see. We're kind of I think having those different kinds of, and this is I think where they were talking about why Xbox as ecosystem is now competing more with Amazon and Stadia and stuff. Not that Stadia is really doing much.
#ecosystem.
Yeah, ecosystem. I'm gonna say it as many times as possible today. I should have changed my damn name.
I'm claiming ecosystem. I'm not claiming this conversation, but I'm claiming that word.
Yeah, you can have it because I hate it. I'm excited to see what they could do with it. I think being able to, if at some point it comes down to where I can play my whole library, through that dongle, that's really what I'm looking for. Because with Game Pass, I think it's an incredible value, but when I go and look at what I actually use on it, it's an indie game here and there once in a while,
or when the first party game releases, right?
Right, yeah, and that's about it. Even then, usually I buy the thing.
No, this wouldn't be a Game Pass stick. This would be your access to. I know we keep saying ecosystem, but this would be your entry point into Xbox Live, which would connect your profile. And you had asked a question around, there's a Fire Stick and there's a 4K Fire Stick, right?
Right, yeah.
What's in the stick is really an access point. So you have 2 things there. One, you have Wi-Fi capability for older devices that don't have it, right? TVs even a few years ago didn't necessarily have Wi-Fi, right? Nor did they have native app support. And so you remember years ago in the 360, you could buy the wireless adapter and the N wireless adapter at the time.
Got it.
Faster. You remember that?
I got it.
Yeah, same exact thing, right? All it is it's a Wi-Fi enabled access point that you can plug into an application. So what you'll do is as soon as you connect to Xbox, which will connect to Xbox Live, you'll log in with your profile, and then anything that you've configured digitally, as you'll be connected to. It won't just be Game Pass.
So what makes the difference between the 4K and say the regular one?
Because 4K requires higher bandwidth.
Okay, so it just allows a higher bandwidth?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. I wonder if they can make it so small where they can, you can like put, yeah. I hope not. But what if they could make it to where you could add like an SD card to it, like a micro SD or something, where you could download 1 or 2 games, and have it on your little tiny stick. I don't know, if
to play locally, you mean?
Right. I mean, technically, I got one on my phone. So it's not out of the realm of possibility to do something like that, I don't think. But
so
it would be more of a computer. I guess it would be a lot more going on inside. Like I said, I'm not a tech guy, so
that'd almost be like the Vita TV.
Yes.
Vita TV.
In a way, yeah.
But you still have to. So right, that what's running the game, because you still need hardware to run the game, right? So no matter where the hardware exists, whether it's local or not. So the hardware would still be on xCloud. The only thing storing it locally would be the game. So there's certain assets you could have locally. I don't even know if that would be worth the trade-off.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
You know what I mean? You still have to compute the game somehow. So you'd still connect to xCloud.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Yeah, bring it on,
man. When in doubt, bring it on.
Yeah, I said, why not?
Yeah. But no, yeah, I think this is. I think it's really neat. I also think the idea. Let me get to Graham's. What's up, Golden? Penalty shot spook worth the price of admission. So, for the audience who hasn't seen this yet, our SG contributor Elu took the most amazing penalty shot ever taken in NHL history in the game the other night. And I will do him a very good favor here shortly and upload that to our stream so we can share it with everyone. So bear with me. I'll do that while we're talking, and we'll come back to that shortly. So everyone can be in on this joke. So what was I going to say? Game Pass tiers, right? So right now we have Ultimate, which includes obviously Game Pass across console and PC, and includes xCloud, or what is console streaming. I really think they should have kept the name xCloud. Did you guys see Jez's SEO analytics on xCloud versus console streaming? Like that when people look for streaming on Xbox and search for it on search engines, xCloud is like 10 times searched for more than Xbox streaming.
Well, if they would have kept Scorpio, we wouldn't be having this stupid issue like I had, 5 minutes ago where I'm talking out my ass. So yeah, I mean, they're not the best at, naming conventions, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's just cloud streaming. It's xCloud. I'm always going to call it xCloud. So it won't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, it just honestly just makes sense. It just fits.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they promoted it that way for such a while. It's like, I don't know why they, would have gotten off of it.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The Game Pass tiers that he's talking about. So this was interesting too. You could have like a platinum tier. And what I was really theorizing with some of the other guys chatting offline yesterday about is, could you imagine if how they bring an EA Play to Game Pass Ultimate, right, at launch November 10th. And that's with Game Pass Ultimate still being $15 a month MSRP, right? Could you imagine a future where we see like for $40 a month? And I know that's a huge jump, right? But say for just as an example, for $40 a month, you get Game Pass Ultimate, which is console PC. You get EA Play, you get xCloud, you get Uplay Plus or Ubisoft Plus, whatever they're going to rename that now with their new Connect, which we'll talk about. And you get some type of like dongle device like this. So you can connect to Xbox anywhere, and you have integration with some of the major third parties for their game content as well. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I tell them to go fuck themselves.
What?
I'm not paying more than $15. Once it gets to 20, I'm going to start questioning its value.
Did you listen to what I said, or did you just hear $40 a month?
$40 for like the dongle. What are you renting it from them? Or are you renting to own? I don't understand what the hell you get the dongle. It's like a $40, $50 fucking thing, right?
What are we doing?
So I pay $50 outright. I buy the dongle. I stay with my $15 a month thing. You play. I don't know if that'll be worth it. They put out more.
So you know what I'm talking about? Uplay Plus.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. You get all the Ubisoft games.
That's $15 a month by itself right now.
Right. I don't buy it because I just buy the games.
What I'm saying is,
I know what you're trying to say, but you're arguing that I mean, you've got to put out enough games, and that's what the value that I'm losing in with Game Pass right now is there's not a ton of first party shit from Microsoft at the moment, and really since they've released it, for me to go, I'm really getting my money's worth. I think with like Sea of Thieves, I did, so I can kind of like extrapolate that over like a certain amount. I bought State of Decay 2. So that's because on me, my bad. But, it's one of those things where it's like, you got to show me the money here, boy. I mean, show me what I'm paying for, and then I'll give you $40. Maybe. I don't even know what the hell. Where's Ubisoft?
Are you going to be all right?
No, I'm mad. I keep thinking about getting nothing. Bear in mind, I'm not paying $15 a month either for Game Pass.
This was a theoretical conversation.
Theoretically, that's a ripoff.
No,
theoretically, I'm not $40 a month. I barely pay that for cable.
I was just throwing a number out there, and
that's too much.
What do you mean you don't pay that for cable?
Let's bring the number down, Ian, so we don't.
$30.
$20. I'm in for 20. On that.
So do you have 4K enabled Netflix right now?
I have 4K enabled Netflix. I've got Hulu. I've got Google Fiber. I've got CBS All Access. I've got all this other shit.
So you're paying $15 to $20 each for those a month.
Nah, I don't even use them. That's the worst part.
Let's sweeten the
Why
pot.
would I
Dave.
buy
Let's
another
throw in,
one?
let's throw in Disney Plus.
But you played
That's rolled into my
played
Hulu.
D&D for hundreds of hours. You played State of Decay for hundreds of hours.
I
You've
bought
played
that game.
Gears 5. You've played Flight Sim. You've played Tactics. You've played Wasteland for 80 or however many hours. Right?
I swear to God, I just heard Halo.
No, don't change the subject.
No. Yeah, but here's the thing. You know how many hours I played Gears Tactics? 1. You know how many hours I played Microsoft Flight Simulator?
No.
1.
How many hours did you play Wasteland?
60.
Right.
Yeah. All right. That's 60 hours.
That's 60 hours for
So
one
we
day.
got to divide this by like what I've actually paid. The thing is, I've only paid like.
Are you buying Valhalla?
I'm buying Valhalla.
Yeah, you'll put what, 100 hours into that?
Easy.
Exactly. So you could do that for $15 a month.
No.
So in the Uplay, you get access. You get full access to
every
the newest games.
Hold on for a second.
Every game at launch. It's just like Game Pass first party.
Okay, I was gonna say like I know like EA Play.
Hey, who's playing Halo?
EA Play,
What
like
the
you
hell's
get
happening?
like a demo almost of a game of their newer sports games.
Did I not
right?
mute my mic?
Which is the other thing that kind of disturbed me about EA. I'm like, if you really want people to go all in, just give them access to the newest whatever, right? So I mean, I don't know. I'm with Dan. I'm not in at 40. I'm not. No. But the theoretical 40, I wouldn't be in for that. But I don't know. 20 for the platinum package. Yeah, there could be a case to be made for that.
Man,
I would be in it for 20.
I think. Yeah, see, I'm in a different camp. I think Game Pass has changed the game value conversation so much that we're at a place now where you guys are thinking like $20 a month is a lot of money for what you're getting, and I don't think it is at all. I think that's a bargain basement price.
I agree with you. You know, if I played more, value is subjective. All right.
We just covered how much you play.
Listen, what do I be playing this year? If I just broke down this year on Game Pass, aside from Wasteland and maybe a couple hours here in Sea of Thieves, I mean, value is subjective. So what I value my money going towards, the reason I don't mind paying that right now is I'm not paying $15 a month.
Right. Yeah.
Right. I've gotten so much, I paid $1 and we're good till next year. Plus I picked up so many, you know, codes that I have stuff for 5 years. I don't even have to worry about it. So that's where the value comes in for me.
Yep.
If you're telling me that all of a sudden that's all going to switch over to a platinum tier, as long as they don't force me,
an option.
Yeah, then that's fine. Do what you want to do. But I just don't see it. If there's some kind of, if they do like the conversion again, like they did with the Game Pass Ultimate, and I have to pay $1 for all that stuff to transfer over, month for month, I'd do it. I'd do it in a second because I've got so much left over.
But you're back to wanting to get it for next to nothing.
Yes.
You just circled back to the same thing I just said.
Right. That's okay. Who doesn't want to get it for next to nothing? He's like, I want to pay $80 for this shit. No, I want to pay $20. Why? What the hell are we talking about here?
Because
I want to pay less.
I know, but I'm being realistic.
Yeah, I'm telling you what the
You're
value
saying what you want in fantasy land.
Like in 2 years, when you've got Elder Scrolls, possibly a Fallout game, possibly something like that, then I can justify it.
Yeah.
Because those are games that I'm going to play.
Sure.
If I look at it objectively, I go, maybe for a casual gamer that wants to play a bunch of indie games and, Halo and shit like that. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. It's worth it objectively, like value wise, as it sits now. It's incredible. There's nothing like it.
Right.
If you start adding in stuff, even at, let's say $30, for Ubisoft Plus or whatever the hell it's called.
I was just theorizing if they added the package to add other major third parties. We don't have to say Ubisoft, but other major third party titles like a Ubisoft Plus or Uplay Plus.
Right. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Or like
because just think, right?
Had one or something.
In the next 5 months, Ubisoft is releasing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Watch Dogs Legion, Immortals Phoenix Rising, Riders Republic, and Far Cry 6.
Yeah, I got 3 of those on there. So that's that's $300 though for me.
Right.
Because I'm gonna get the the higher editions.
Sure.
So if I get a discount at those, Nah.
So say a normal person's paying $60 each, maybe 70 at these new consoles, right?
Mm-hmm.
5 of those games, that's $350 right there with nothing else. That's $30 a month in a year.
Right. Then we're good at 30. That's 40 shit out of my face.
Never mind Game Pass and PC and Xbox.
Don't even say EA Play because that is the most garbage fucking service. I don't care what anybody tells me. That's trash.
It's
trash.
$2 a month.
It's nothing now because it's free.
Well,
I'm still paying too much for it, and I got it at a discount, and I paid $1 for it. That's how much of a shit
Eric,
fucking service that is.
Co-host. I don't know if you're available on Saturdays at noon.
EA Play is garbage.
Yeah, it's funny because we talk about EA Play. I'm like, if you throw it in, that's fine. Because I remember once talking, I hit Sam up once. I said, "Is EA Access still a thing? Like people really subscribe to?" I said, "I hear nothing about it like we did when it first launched." Because it still has users, but it wasn't. I don't think it was as big. So, but anyway, you want to put that in, that's fine. But I definitely think, like I was just saying to you, Ains, like they need to change it.
Yeah.
If they really want people to take it serious, and I think that's why people kind of started ignoring it. It's like, okay, fine, I can play Yarny's game or whatever that was, and there I can play that full game.
Unraveled,
but people are really going to be showing up for the NHLs, the FIFAs and things like that.
Yeah.
And you don't really need to demo those because people already know year to year what those are going to be.
Yeah.
You got to give them all access.
Yeah. But remember what it also gives you, though. And this doesn't matter to a lot of people like me, but I mean, it gives you 10% off of anything EA related. And for a lot of people who Ultimate Team, which we've talked about before, is billions of dollars a year for EA. So if you're one of the players that even buys a single pack or a couple packs
or $50 in Anthem currency
or Anthem currency,
right.
You get 10% off of that. So I think EA went for that cheap value proposition, $2 a month and we'll give you trials and 10% off. Like they went for the cheap route, whereas Game Pass Ultimate is going the opposite route, which is full games, but it's $15 a month. It's 6 times as much, right? Or 7 times. So I don't know. It's all about value proposition.
It is, but the thing is so weird for guys like us. It's like, we get excited about it because of the value proposition, but at the same time, like Dan mentioned, time. But also, let's add in the wrinkle of we're also collectors. Like we want, like Dan just mentioned, like the the steelbook case package and this and that. So then that kind of X's out the value of the Ubi thing, unless you just want to play the digital version and keep your steelbook. And the thing I kind of look at too, we talk about the value, like, we were in for $1, so we're kind of there, for the next couple of years. But if it got to the point where it's month to month, I would actually be weighing, like, do I need to keep subscribing right now, or do I just need to jump in when something hits that I really want? Only, and this is through no fault of Game Pass, just for the fact that we're all multi-platform players. There's always something to play. We still have games that we purchased, and as much as I try to not let the backlog control me, there's just this thing about I paid for that. I need to at least try to play it. If I don't like it, then I'll move on.
Yeah.
But there's always something to play, right? If I had this in college, forget about it. I would have probably flunked out because that's just an insane thing. If you're just now really getting serious about gaming and you're coming into it, man, I mean, that's insane. To get that much access, like Dan's saying, really wouldn't matter what's in there. You'd probably find something that you'd be into.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think when we get to a few years out and, I'm hoping that we get a new Dishonored. I'm hoping we get, another Wolfenstein, things like that. Then that's absolutely where those values will be, even though I'll be owning the steelbooks on all those. But we're such a weird test bed for this thing because we're not the average buyer. But like you said, Ange, if you have that the dongle in there, you get access to all these different things and you explain it to a general consumer, it might be very tempting.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, because I think all access is kind of a test for this too. And where I was going with this is what you exactly just said, Eric, is the people who aren't buying the $500 Series X, right? Who don't traditionally have that new Xbox console. Now you can say, hey, I'll say $30 a month, just not to piss anyone off. But my point being is you can say, hey, you don't even need a console. Right here, you can buy a dongle with a controller, And for 25, 30 bucks a month, whatever it is, right? For X number of dollars a month, you get access to all these games, even beyond current Game Pass offering, right? You have all these other bonuses that come with this. It feels like that's where they're going from another offer, which I think is powerful on the mass market.
It is, because you think about it like this: like if someone buys that dongle, I'm sure there's going to be the Xbox Live stores there,
of course,
right?
Yeah.
So while they're getting the streaming version of that, they're still going to have if they decide one day, you know what, I'm going to pick up a console. Now they have access to their digital library.
Correct. Everything's connected.
So everything's it's all connected. So that's crazy when you think about it. Yeah,
gaming's changing rapidly in front of our eyes. It's interesting. So I missed Mo gave us a super chat. Let me hit this real quick. Buddy Mo from Backlog Chronicles. I hope you guys have a wonderful show, you beautiful humans. Victim of family day today. That's understandable. It is a Saturday. Love you guys. Thanks, Mo. Appreciate it, brother.
I don't want Phil to come up and announce 40 because Dan's gonna lose it on him.
I'm not even gonna give him a damn time of day. What the hell is your problem, man?
I think it's value is subjective. It's different for every person. And when I know that I spend hundreds of dollars on gaming related stuff a month, and that obviously goes up and down depending on what's going on, right? But if you average it out just on games, not even statues or anything else, but just games and like little things, add-ons, DLC expansions, etc., spend hundreds of dollars a month. So if you're telling me I can get every Xbox game, every Ubisoft game, whatever EA Play is, we just laughed about, I can play it anywhere. I can connect anywhere while I'm traveling. I get a dongle. And that's the $40 a month to me. That's nothing. That's absolutely nothing for that entertainment. That's me. Now, I understand when you start talking on mass market, $40 a month starts to change the conversation. Because to typical families that may not buy a lot of games, you're nearly talking about buying a new game a month at that point. So that's a different conversation. So I get that. But I think I'm surprised to hear from you guys because I know what you guys, or I have an idea, especially Dan, of how much you spend on a monthly basis on gaming. The fact that you can get so angry at $40 just makes me laugh because I know how much you spend on a weekly basis on games.
If you really broke it down and say go back to like last year, what if I were paying $15 a month? What would I have saved based on what I played?
Yes, that's fair.
And I would have actually probably saved a little bit of money. I mean, I take away the, hey, I get to try this game out because usually it lasts about 30 minutes and then I'm done.
Sure.
Like there's every once in a while you get that game where it's like, okay, this is really good. Like Katana Zero or what's the one, Eric, with the monster? You play as the monster.
Carrion.
Oh yeah,
right.
Carrion, yeah.
Every once in a while you find those kind of gems.
Yeah.
Did you play Ori?
Yeah, for like 20 minutes or 30 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. I knew that I was going to be able to play that game much. Sure. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Not taking anything away from those games. It's just I suck at them. So it's, literally no fun to me. But, and I look at, like, is it worth having that to, and this is from, like Eric was saying, from our standpoint, not from like a, casual person that plays games, which I think this is right on the money for actually. But, I really don't know. For me, I probably could have saved a little bit of money, but I also wouldn't have been able to try out and find some of these games. So that's another value that it brings to the table is that you get the opportunity to kind of see these games.
Yes.
So that's more valuable to me than the actual games have been so far in the service, because like Doom comes out for it, right? Huge. Yeah. Guess who bought it?
Sure.
A month ago.
Yeah. Oh, a month ago.
Okay. That's the worst part. It's like, man, I really want to try something new. I think I'll grab the new Doom. And then the Bethesda same thing happens, and I'm like, God damn it! It happens every single time.
Yeah.
I bought Friday the 13th on PlayStation 4. Literally 3 days later, it gets announced as one of the PlayStation Plus games.
A
couple years ago or whatever.
The curse.
Every single damn time. So if I just stop buying games, that'd be good.
Let me ask it. Well, let me get to this. And I saw you already change your name. So Bizzle, what's
Yeah.
up, man? When he does have Dongo in your name next week, I'm going to be upset. Fortunately, we can change our names in real time now. And Dan, looks like you've got that covered.
I got to take care of him, man. For the $5 super chat, I got it.
Bizzle, I'm going to be Dongo tonight on Gaming Perspective.
Yes.
There you go. Gaming Perspective. Check it out there. What was I going to say? So let me ask you this then. As you think about the service and the value proposition, what value does xCloud provide either of you in that calculation?
Not much. Like a little bit here and there. I play it maybe an hour or two a week, So I really need to play it more to kind of justify my purchase of the Kishi. But I probably got 7 or 8 hours into it since I bought that. I think it's pretty good, which is more than I did last year, but it's more me, like Eric was saying. It's like I bought this, I kind of need to play with it,
Okay.
So and that's I think that's gonna come into play a lot farther down the road. When I have to go places that I don't want to be.
Sure. It's still foundational right now.
Right.
So Eric, what about you? You playing xCloud?
Well, not yet. Because I'm waiting for that workaround. Because I'm iOS, and that's how it's going to be for right now. It works for me. My family works for me. Let's talk ecosystem. I work in the ecosystem.
Yeah.
I do honestly though. If I can sidetrack for a second, I have this feeling. I honestly feel that they're going to work that out. Like I know they're doing they're working on the web thing, but I actually feel they're actually going to work it out to where it's actually going to end up in the App Store.
Yeah.
At some point. It's just that thing. It's just money talks.
Yep.
And BS is everything else. But like Dan and like I was telling you, like I don't travel as much and I don't get that kind of time at work. And I see people on Twitter like, I play all day at work. I'm like, I need your job. But knowing that I have it and it's included is fantastic. So whenever, I can, have access to it, that'd be fantastic. Now, the other side of that is my daughter is much more right now into like the Marios and the Switch type stuff, but she is getting that gamer bug. But again, going forward, that might be something that she wants to start accessing more and playing with more, which kind of goes back to, let's talk for the tiers for a second. There's really not like a dedicated family tier in Game Pass, right?
No, but what they did do is they've removed the limit of logging into one device simultaneously.
Okay.
So you used to only be able to log in with your Xbox Live profile to one device, and it's been that way since forever.
You can still only play games on one device at a time.
Only play games on one device, yes.
Right.
Because otherwise you could just give your profile to friends, and there you go. But
right.
But I to your point, I think if I see where you're going is I definitely foresee more of like the game sharing thing in real time, where you'll be able to have a family type service. Yeah.
That would increase the value.
That's what I was going to say, Dan. Like when you get into that, because like you said, in Netflix, you can pay for different tiers or whatever the case may be to have more access, right?
Yes.
Yep.
And you guys are probably the same as how I am. You get into a bartering system with friends and family. Like, look, okay,
yes.
I have Hulu, you have HBO, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's swap and we'll go back and forth, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that'll work for games per se, but the value proposition is like, look, man, I may not be using this as much, but I have a nephew, I have like my daughter, I may have a cousin or whatever, maybe they can't afford to buy all the games. I say, hey, look, man, I have no problem paying for this, kind of paying it back and saying, you guys have access, have at it, have fun. Now that's a different story, because now it's capturing somebody who's not me, where I'm all over the damn place, gamer ADD. And that's the thing that Game Pass has thrown into the equation is it hits the gamer ADD in a whole different way now.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, damn, and talk about the value. I'm like, okay, I have all these games on this platform, but then I have all this going on Game Pass, and I'm really not getting my value out of Game Pass. I need to play some of these games, and it's stressful as hell. But but that's a good problem to have.
I played 3 new games yesterday that I probably never would have tried.
Right.
Including Xenocrisis, and I played Maid of Skur yesterday. These are games that I never would have bought. But to Dan's point, I think that's one of the other benefits too, is that you do get to try all kinds of different games. Yeah, and once in a while, you will find a game that you just love. There's been games in Game Pass where I never would have played it, but because of Game Pass, I tried it, and then I'm like, oh my god, this game's amazing, and I'll put lots of time into it.
Or you could just put a damn demo out, and then everybody could just try every game and then be done with it. But
Game Pass, it's the full game. It's like a demo system, but you get the full game.
Right. It's basically what I'm paying for at this point. Aside from a few other things, but to Eric's point with the xCloud thing, it's kind of a funny story. And Eric, you kind of replied to me on Twitter. So the other day, my son came down, both of them, said, "Hey, how does this xCloud work?" We got it all set up on the tablet. Now I have Wi-Fi outlets because they won't go to sleep, so I have to automatically schedule to go off at a certain time. So as soon as I got the alarm on my phone that said that the TVs went off, I was like, those sons of bitches. I literally walk upstairs and he's on there playing Rainbow Six Siege on his tablet. And when you replied back with that Wile E. Coyote, I about lost my shit. I was dying, man. Yeah, so parents, watch your kids. They're slick little sons of bitches. So they got me, man. They got me. And I applaud them for that.
Bravo, because they're showing ingenuity, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to test you that way.
That's good. I almost just like, you got me. That's it.
Let me throw some stuff up here. We got what's up, everyone in chat? I see a whole bunch of regulars along with some new people. So I see Dizzy, I see Asa, K-Med. What's up, guys? One Bad Mother. He said, I'm pretty sure if you game share, you can share your subscription as well. If Game Pass, I did game share with my nephew, and he was able to download Game Pass titles. And I think, Dan, you do that too, right?
You can do it.
Yep.
Yeah, basically, it's the same. You basically like sharing live.
Yeah, same.
It just all carries over. Now, I did that for a little bit with my kids, but
we're talking more in terms of actually like, here's the easy access. Like here, I pay for this plan, so you.
Yeah, exactly.
You get
the way kind of, like Nintendo does that, with their family plan, where you just add somebody.
I'm on Dan's plan.
Yeah, he's on my plan.
Nintendo. I think
Alden, Diego maybe is on there. My kids are on there. There are all kinds of people on there. You can have like 7 or 8 people, and I think it's been used a total of 3 hours between the 7 or 8 people that we've had.
So what do you get access to in there? Because I don't have the family plan. I just have regular Nintendo Online, and I'm talking about value proposition. Like I don't go in there and play any of the online games really.
And it's exactly the same thing.
Just
except that you just can add more people to it.
Okay.
I think it's like 7 or 8 people basically.
They get access to like those Nintendo Online games and stuff like that.
You get all that, yeah. You get that with Nintendo Online though too.
Yeah.
So you get there.
And same thing we were just saying here, One Bad Mother, Discovery is the best benefit of Game Pass for me, like a sampler. Yeah, it's like a buffet, right? It's a video game buffet.
Now, why couldn't they come up with something like that? That'd be a great marketing.
Yeah,
like around, like scooping up some Halo and putting a little bit of this on your plate. You know what I mean?
If you have Halo, you have the main entree, baby. You don't need anything else.
It's the buffet steak.
I think too, like I want to say too, I think maybe where Dan may be feeling like a lot of us feel sometimes subscription fatigue. It's like I have to think about another one, and that was the beauty of the Disney Plus Hulu like ESPN combo pack. Even though I don't use the ESPN because it doesn't really, it's whatever, But
twice a year.
Yeah, I'm like I'm not ESPN Plus offers me really nothing I really want to see. There's no college games really that I want to see on there, anything like that. But it's in there. I'm like, okay, for this price I was kind of paying for Hulu anyway. I might as well get all of it, and we're good to go. And then there you go again. I hand all those logins off to like my mother-in-law, and and she's off and running. And so I think that probably comes into it too. It's like convincing people why they need this extra subscription, and and making that again that value proposition, because I know for a fact like month to month I'm not getting 100% value out of Netflix or Hulu. I barely actually log into Hulu anymore, but I still have it now because it's a part of the Disney Plus, which I do use a little bit more.
It's like Prime Video. I rarely use Prime Video unless it comes out, like Borat 2, which I'll watch,
right?
But but that comes with Prime, so I have that no matter what. But I agree with you. There's so many subscriptions, and there's probably more on the way.
Right. So, you talk about value proposition, man. It's like I need to get shipping because that Amazon Prime just keeps rocking, man.
Exactly.
That's the thing. I mean, when like you said, Eric, you kind of share with your family. I pay for damn near everything.
Right.
So like everybody just uses my shit.
Right.
I need to get in on I need to figure some shit out here. I gotta like, why? What the hell, man?
Like, what do you bring to the table? What do you have that I can subscribe to? Give me a login.
Ace said I have so many subscriptions. I don't even know how I'd cancel them.
It's the truth. Like I get charged like something comes through like for $5 a month. I have to like look. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
I thought I canceled that. Maybe I didn't. I don't know.
Am I the only one that sees like charges on my stuff nowadays? And because there's so many, I'm like, all right, someone's scamming me. And
exactly.
One by one, like, what is that?
Yep.
It's like Apple Care, $1 here for this, $1. You're like, what is it? Wait, what?
Yeah, somebody told me from
like
my
1 cent
today in Illinois. I'm like, great, I got to change my password again. I said, what the hell is happening? And I remember my daughter lives there in Chicago, so it's like, damn it, there's too much going on. I got too much. I really like shrink everything and just kind of figure out what the hell I'm paying for.
The password cheat sheet.
Yes. I think what we've determined after 40 minutes on this topic, which I did not expect to do that, is we need $100. I'm throwing it out there. $100 ultimate subscription. It's just every subscription service possible included. Everyone take your cut. I'll give you someone $100. You guys figure it out.
One price, one password.
That's it. Netflix, Hulu, Xbox, PS Now, Prime. Just put it all in one.
I'm with you. Now that is a value. Yeah.
Hey, we all agreed there. Good. We will transition on that one. All right, let's do this. We're gonna. I told you I would get back to this. So let me set this up before we have a good laugh. So Elu, who is in chat and writes for Season Gaming, we have been playing NHL 21. NHL 21, you can play with your friends as a team, and just like you do in real hockey, and you can do this in Madden and FIFA and everything too, right? So we're playing the arcade mode the other day, and Elu is new to NHL, and so he gets a penalty shot, and so I'm quickly trying to explain to him how to do a penalty shot properly because he's our defenseman. He doesn't take a lot of shots, and here is a clip of the result. So now you'll understand penalty shot spook.
Oh, fans, we've got a delayed penalty on the play. Oh, the ref's seen enough, and now the penalty shot. Now or never. The ref has blown the whistle, and the shot attempt is nullified.
So in short, he missed it by a little bit.
Right. Has he ever played hockey before? I don't even play hockey. I know where the hell the. Woof.
So me and one of our other buddies were playing live with him in that game, and I literally couldn't see for like a minute. I was laughing so hard.
Oh my god.
Anyway, you can give Elu in chat crap about it. We've had a good laugh about it. So, all right, let's move on. This kind of ties into what we were talking about, but this is more good news, I think. It's Ubisoft Connect. So Ubisoft announced this week that starting on November 10th with the launch, starting on October 29th, next week with the launch of Watch Dogs Legion, their first kind of big release of the fall, they are getting rid of Uplay, and they're getting rid of Ubisoft Club. And they're bringing it all together in what they're calling Ubisoft Connect, which is a new application you can download on your PC or your phone. And it's going to basically bring their entire Ubisoft platform together. The neatest thing about this is it brings over all your points. So if you've unlocked Ubisoft points to unlock, Ubisoft does a really good job with doing crossovers in their games, or you can unlock skins or weapons or, stuff across their games, which I've always thought is really neat personally. But the coolest part about this is save cross progression. So what they said is starting on the 29th with Watch Dogs, all your game saves on Ubisoft titles will sync to their servers and your profile. So as long as you're logged in, it's just like we were talking about with Xbox Live or PSN or whatever. As long as you're logged into your Ubisoft profile when you play a Ubisoft game, you will be able to take that save with you across platforms. So say I play Watch Dogs Legions when I'm streaming on PC, right? And then I'm like, hey, I'm going to go play on Xbox with some buddies. All my progression will still be there. Which, as we've been talking about for a long time now, that's the way it should be, right? That's just how it should be. So I think this is great news. This is not a cost, by the way. This is just how Ubisoft is moving forward with their games and titles. So next week, if you can download the application now, I have it on my PC already, and you can log into it and take a look at your stuff. But the actual full connectivity doesn't start until the 29th next week.
So all that stuff that you have, or all your bonuses and stuff, those all will carry over.
Yep.
Okay.
And your points and your they have profile level in Ubisoft. Like I'm level, I don't know, 30 something.
Right.
And I think they're even having some awards for people that download it and log into the application now prior to its launch. So definitely check it out. But the cross progression is what I really like. Just being able to try something on PC, move over to my Xbox or PlayStation, and just picking up where I left off.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. I mean, I don't see anything bad about this.
Not at all. No.
It's what everybody should be doing.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to sign into a 2K account. You have to sign into an EA account. You're literally signed into a Microsoft account with, it should just automatically happen from here on out.
Correct.
With you can do it with Fortnite, with cross whatever. I know my son gets free stuff on his PlayStation.
Rocket League. Well, Fortnite and Rocket League are all Epic, right?
Yeah.
So Epic is controlling the servers for your game save states and stuff, just like Ubisoft is doing. I have to imagine that EA and what's the other major publisher I was trying to think of? 2K, the games Activision, that they have to be coming this way soon.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, it's stupid not to. I mean, I don't know what you're really. Most people now are not going to buy, except unless you're Dan, the same game on multiple consoles over and over and over again. Because I own Skyrim or whatever. Then it's something that I don't know if we just haven't had the technology up to this point. I'm sure we have. It just seems like a weird thing not to have.
It costs money. No. It costs money for them to do it. That's why.
Yeah. I'm not worried about them, those bastards.
You're wondering why. That's the why. It costs money. I mean, anything that costs money has to get approved. And if they're getting really no benefit out of it, other than us saying this is a nice thing, but it's starting. I think it's starting to become an expectation. And when you're in an industry where a market factor becomes an expectation and you're a company that doesn't offer it, it's a problem. Right. That's when companies will start to change. That's why I think EA and Activision will be next.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, I'm 100% for that, man. I know some years ago we went through the back and forth on cross-play and everyone was on that wave or whatever, the console bubble on Twitter. But I was always like, cross-progression is really what needs to be focused on.
Yes.
Cross-play can come, that'll be fine. You always have people to play with you, if it's not cross-play, but to be able to take things across the board is much more valuable to me than anything else.
Yep.
And in some cases it will, like Dan said, not everybody's going to, buy a copy of something for everything, but depending on what it is, it might, promote somebody buying another game, if they can play with their friends, but everything carries over.
Yes, exactly right. In fact, Graham had to leave, but Graham in the chat, he's a really heavy PlayStation player. He's I think he said he's number 400 in Canada in trophies. He's got he's trophy level 500 something now on the new system.
Wow.
But he's been playing with us on Xbox lately as part of this kind of core group of seasoned gaming guys. And he's having a blast. And he said the same thing. He's like, I own these games on PlayStation. I wish I could just bring my progress over. It's kind of frustrating. But I think that's going to be a problem of the past soon.
I wonder how that works with achievements and trophies. If you get all the achievements on the Xbox and then you load up your game on the other one.
So did
I miss that part?
Yeah, no. Someone asked that question on Twitter. I think it was Dapper Tux. If I remember.
Okay. No, I don't follow him. So
yeah, someone asked that question and someone responded that in theory you should unlock all those trophies or achievements, whatever direction you're going.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So and what's up? I don't know the proper ways. I don't know how to pronounce that properly. Imostine?
How about Racer?
Yeah, we'll just say Racer. There you go. Good job, Dan. So as you said, some skins are on Uplay Currency right now too. So definitely check out that application because I know some things are limited to pre-launch, which is only 5 days from now. So,
what I'm thinking, man, we should all push back at Ubisoft. Say we're not downloading a damn thing until we get another Splinter Cell.
Yeah, we're screwed then.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're gonna be out of business, and
we're tired of you toying with us, man. Stop it.
Yeah. That gosh. Well, Eric, we've been talking about a lot recently about Perfect Dark and Initiative, making a Perfect Dark, and really that having the potential, if they do it well and as we imagine it, to almost not replace, but almost kind of step in
Yeah.
for a Splinter Cell type game.
I say do it, man, because Sam Fisher's showing up in every other game except his own now. You know,
It's crazy. Speaking of Watch Dogs and Elu, we'll call Elu out here because we, in a positive light, we'll forget about the penalty shot for now. I don't know about you guys, but Watch Dogs for me and him, and I've talked to many people saying the same thing, that it feels like next gen begins next week when Watch Dogs launches. That's going to really kick us off. I know the systems aren't here, but that really kicks our fall gaming into gear. That's like the first big AAA release that starts the fire, if you will.
I mean, I'm ready for it. I'm not sure how much next gen. I think Cyberpunk will probably do it for me. That would be my one where I go, okay, now we're here. Now we're talking. I even Valhalla to a certain extent. I think down the road, obviously, we'll see a lot more of these things, but it's I don't know, man. Legion it's one of those games where I'm gonna get it, obviously, but I'm a little tepid, I guess. I'm a little I don't know. I haven't seen, maybe this is probably partially my fault, but I don't know if I've seen enough to make me go, yeah, this is going to be super awesome. Because and that might be just because I've kind of avoided it, because I want to kind of go in, kind of fresh. It's still, a Ubisoft game. I wasn't really, this one looks so much more fleshed out than the last two.
Yes, it does.
So
yeah,
it's a really interesting concept too. I really hope we can pull it off. So I'm
I
ready.
think, if you're not 100% confident buying it, you could subscribe to Uplay Plus for $15.
No, I can't. It's not on Xbox.
Oh, it could be. I'm not getting back into it. I'm joking. Go ahead, Eric. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, this one looks like the one to. Like, it wants to kind of break the mold of what we've kind of been seeing from like the Ubisoft games, of having like that template, that samey type vibe. And I'm hoping that's what it is, because the first game, I played, I never finished it, but it was okay. It was, for all the hype that it had behind it, I was like, oh, it was just all right for me.
Yeah.
I dabbled in the second one. I really liked what I played. It's just at the time I was like on other things, and I just didn't have time to go back to it. And now we're so far removed, I'm kind of like, maybe one day, I don't know. But Legion looks really awesome. Like, it looks like it has all the things that you would want in a game.
Yeah.
And I'm really, really pulling for it. I'm really hoping that it is that game that gets people talking, because you guys correct me, I don't know. I guess Watch Dogs 2 did okay for the most part. I don't know if people were really...
So it's one of those games like Dishonored 2. It got rated really well, but its sales were below expectations because they released it at a terrible time.
Okay. Yeah. Oh man, Dishonored 2. That's another topic we can get into.
Yeah.
But I'm really pulling for
same
it.
thing, right? Same thing happened to Titanfall 2.
Another one, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, I see people on Twitter saying there's no good games, everything's dry. I'm like, yo, there's a tremendous amount of good games that you could go find and play right now.
Yeah.
Those are two really good ones that you can go play. Dishonored 2 and Titanfall 2.
There you go.
But no, I'm really pulling for Legion. I definitely want to check it out. And I didn't say that about Watch Dogs 2.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, man, the way they've been presenting Legion has been fantastic.
It has. And, if you recall, right, so, and I've said this before, but we saw the game last year at E3, and it looked like it needed work. And if you remember, when we've talked about this too, when Breakpoint released, Dan reviewed it for us. I think, it averaged a Metacritic score of like in the 60s and 70s. That's when Ubisoft stepped back and said, hey, we need to do two things. We need to allow more development time, and we need to separate our games more. And to your point, Eric, that's Clint Hawking, who's the creative director of Legion, said that this additional 8 to 10 months has really helped the team give it the full identity that they wanted to do, with the, the characters around the city and being able to play as anyone. And I think it's really, really a good thing that they allowed the teams to kind of back off and take their time to get these games right.
Right. Absolutely.
So cool.
I'm hoping for big things from it, but yeah.
So let's transition then to next gen, and I put in our kind of notes on the side here. Now that we're a couple weeks from launch, which is hard to believe after all this time, we know what the final launch lineups are. We know even all the kind of side indie games that are going to be there on day one. We know the games that are getting fully enhanced for next gen and when. So I just wanted to quickly hear your guys' thought, and I'll obviously give mine too, on what you're picking up and what you're like kind of most looking forward to. I think it goes without saying Cyberpunk is, one of our, our biggest by far. At least it is for Dan and I, Eric, and you can comment on that. But what when you pick up your Series X and you pick up your PS5, if you're getting one or either, what are you really looking forward to, and what have you planned to grab?
I'm going to get both. My plan for day one has actually changed. Just not for the fact that I'm disappointed in anything like that. I'm actually very excited to get my hands on these things, but just to, be a little personal with the audience, because my wife and I have been on this journey of being 100% debt free.
Nice.
And we kind of had like a little setback in that with some things that we had to take care of, but we're almost there.
Nice.
So I was kind of like talking to her about it, and I was like, I really want these consoles, but I know what we're trying to do. And it's either go ahead and, spend whatever on these consoles. Plus I need to get the TV because I have like an older 4K TV and I want the full experience. So I want to get a CX OLED finally.
Getting a TCL?
Yeah, I got the TCL 4K. I'm not even joking. But
there's nothing wrong with TCL. It's just become a funny joke. With the guys over at the Lords.
But the one I have is the 600p, which was actually a really highly rated TV, but it's not a CX though. Let's keep it real.
Oh.
So I want the whole deal. So I'm just gonna push back by a month or two, and then jump in. But now to answer your question, Cyberpunk 100%. But Cyberpunk's next gen update doesn't hit until next year, right?
Correct. Yep.
And honestly, Ains, I'm gonna wait on that.
Whoa.
Okay. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, that's some willpower.
It's gonna be tough, but I'm gonna hold off. Well, I won't have. I'll have the X, and I can obviously play it on that. But yeah, I'm just like, I just want the full glory on that game, man. We waited this long for it.
Yep.
And I'm saying that now. When I start seeing you guys talk, I may walk back on that. I don't know yet, but we'll see if I hold out. Demon Souls, hands down. That's one I'm absolutely looking forward to. Miles Morales, obviously. But I'm gonna be honest, the game I've been looking at that's really got me like, I really want to check this game out is the Falconer.
Yeah, me too.
That game looks fantastic, man, and it's not a lot of people talking about it.
No,
I know
small, but. Yeah, it looks amazing.
Yeah, it's a small title, but it's giving me that vibes of like Panzer Dragoon. I know they just said sort of like Crimson Skies, and I'm like, that's it, man. Let's do that.
Yep,
that sounds fantastic. So, but no, I'm sure I'm forgetting something else, but I'll let you guys throw some out. I'll jog my memory.
Okay. So let me ask you this: you get into horror games? You're looking forward to like the Medium and all?
Oh yeah. See, I told you, the Medium is one of my most anticipated games too.
Awesome.
Yeah, that game looks phenomenal, man.
It really does. Yeah. I mean, it's December 10th, but I'm counting it. It's part of the fall kind of lineup, right?
100%.
Cool. Are you a Destiny player?
I have not been for some months now. Actually probably longer than that. Okay. But I am. I do like Destiny. I really like Destiny. I just don't think Destiny likes me. I've talked to Cog about this, and I've had my moments where I've really put the work in trying to get in there. But I just feel like Destiny is that game where if another game takes your attention, Destiny doesn't like it. Destiny's like, you belong to me. Yeah. You need to be here every day.
It feels like a job.
It does, and I that's the thing that turns me off to it. I'm like, I really love the aesthetic. I love the gunplay, the world. I mean, this game is insane on that level. I just don't think it's friendly to like midway casual to hardcore players. Like, you have to be completely 100% dedicated to Destiny to get the full world of Destiny.
I've talked about that at length because I played Destiny when it first launched, the first one, and I was really into it for a while. And I felt exactly as you just described eventually. It's like the way they've built the systems in that game. And you're right, the gunplay, Bungie, it's Bungie, man. When it comes to mechanics, they're top tier. And the worlds are beautiful. But the way they've built the progression systems in that game, it's like if you're not putting in that hour or two a day, it just doesn't feel like you're accomplishing anything.
Right.
And for me, who plays, I'm one of those guys with game ADD. I play so many games. for small periods of time. It feels like a job.
Mm-hmm.
So I only ask because, we know that it's getting the 4K 60 FPS kind of full update on December 8th now for Series X and PS5. And I've dabbled with talking with some of the people in chat and some of our friends around jumping into Destiny 2 and kind of starting fresh, like from the beginning and playing through all the expansions. I'm kind of having, I don't know if I want to do that.
It's
and
too much, man.
Yeah, just put, 50, 60, 80, whatever, how many hours, and then just being like, oh man, now it's like to get anywhere again, you've got to keep playing and keep playing and keep playing.
Yeah, that's just it, man. It's like I would be 100% down with you. Now I'm actually gonna look at it. Absolutely 100%. Like when I get my Series X, I'm gonna go in and see Destiny at 60 frames per second. But you're 100% right. It's like we can do all that work, and then God forbid we decide to go play something else, and the rest of the world has moved on. And there are people in the Destiny community who don't mind coming back and helping you get to that level. But at the same time, it's sort of like you still feel like, man, you guys are so far ahead, I'll never catch up. Because I'll be honest, I've never actually even done a raid in Destiny because I've never been at the adequate light level because I would try and try and try. I would grind and grind and grind. I would get this weapon that was needed for it. And then I was off for a week or two and come back and everyone's either done the raid or it's over or the weapon I got that I spent 60 hours trying to get is no longer powerful enough.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you nailed it. That's and then I look at games like, Borderlands 3 is getting the 4K 60 FPS update. And that game, I can jump in right now. I haven't played it in months. I could jump in right now and in 30 minutes or less, I could have fun. And I guarantee I could get some loot that'll make my character better.
100%. And that's the thing I said I loved about the Borderlands world is like you never feel like you're left out. You can be further ahead than someone else or behind someone else, but you both can still go in and have fun. And play those. And I have to get to the DLCs on that. So I'm gaming on that if you are, man. We can definitely rock that one day.
Yeah. Dan and I have played it before. Some of the people in chat, I need to go back. I've only played the first DLC, so I'm looking forward to playing the update for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. That's actually the thing I'm looking forward to too, man. It's just seeing these games updated. Because I know the Doom DLC just hit.
Yes.
And I'm hearing it's punishing as hell.
Yes, I've heard the same.
Yeah, but I'm almost tempted to wait on that too, just because I want to see what that does on the next gen system.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling that way with almost everything. Like, I'm playing NHL because NHL is just next gen doesn't matter to NHL. Playing Rocket League doesn't matter, but it's just like I really just anything big I just want to play on next gen now.
Right. I'm already there.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people are, man.
Yeah, I think we're all there. So anyway, we covered. Okay, so you got Miles Morales, you got Demon Souls, and getting PS5. You got Series X, Falconer, which I wanted to touch on, so that's awesome. And Medium. Okay, yeah. I'm very similar, and Cyberpunk, of course. Valhalla, you there with Valhalla?
I am there with Valhalla, but again, I have Origin to still play, and I still have Odyssey to play.
You're a few years behind,
bro. But this goes back to like how so many of these games like are so daunting, man. They can be so big and so time consuming, And I just came off of, platinuming The Last of Us 2, and then I platinum Ghost of Tsushima, and I have 270 hours in The Witcher 3, so I have no problem playing these long games. But it's like, but it's just sometimes it's I got to get to this one, but then there's other games over here waiting. So I really want to. I know I don't have to play Origin and Odyssey to do Valhalla, but I'm absolutely going to play Valhalla at some point, man, because that means that the Vikings and that I love that lore. I love the the Viking lore and everything like that. So
it's awesome.
Man. It's just there's so much to play, dude.
Yeah, it's endless. And Dan and I were laughing because I'm supposedly reviewing Legion and Cyberpunk, and he's reviewing Valhalla, and I think we kind of laughed at ourselves, like, how in the hell are we supposed to be doing this? Because to really review these games, right, you need to complete them, you've got to get through, experience it all, and I'm like, I'll spend hundreds and hundreds of hours on Cyberpunk. So I don't know how I'm supposed to review, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. So Dan, we're a couple weeks out. I know you're getting PS5 and Series X. What kind of final games are you nailed down for both? Like, what's your plan for both?
For the PS5, I'll get Spider-Man, and then
Demon Souls.
No. I'll probably get Sackboy because it actually looks kind of fun.
It does. It looks good.
It does look like a fun game.
And then I may or may not try Godfall. Depends. I mean, that might be something I want to see some reviews on it first, get some impressions.
Yeah.
If it's Anthem, then no. If it's something that might have a fun single player component to it, it's done well, then maybe I'll pick it up.
I think a lot of people in that boat with Godfall. It seems like the more they show, it's like a step forward, a step back. I don't know if that makes sense. Like some of it looks really cool, and then some of it looks really shallow and repetitive, and I don't know where it's going to land.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, it could be awesome. Destruction All Stars, absolutely not. Looks dumb. Game of Thrones. I say GOT. Ghost of Tsushima.
Yes.
I'm actually playing a little bit of that now with Legends. So
Legends was good, man.
It's so good.
It reminds me of Assassin's Creed co-op or multiplayer.
Yeah, it's a lot harder. I mean, like just especially early on. I see some of these people now that have grinded out to like some of the higher levels. I'm like, this is insane, guys. How in the hell? I'm struggling on the third mission.
So I haven't played it yet. I'm waiting to go back to Tsushima. I put this on here because hearing 60 frames on the PS5, I'm pumped.
Right.
Like that's when I'll go back and play more of that game. But on the Legends, with the co-op piece, is it like single player missions that you can do in co-op, or is it more like a horde thing where it's like waves of enemies?
It's both. So
both,
the story thing is I haven't really touched the horde thing yet. Because I probably get annihilated by myself. But the story, basically, it kind of, you pick one of the 4 classes to start off with. I didn't realize that you couldn't just jump between them. It's kind of like where you have to play to a certain level, then you unlock this, you pick whatever one you want to start off with. But to unlock more, you have to get to a certain level.
Right.
So then you basically build, it's got loot, different, it's very similar to, it's not like super in depth. I would say it's probably closer to Anthem in its loot, because it's not super varied. You basically have 4 or 5 different items, and they've got different level, just different tiers, and they're a little bit different here and there, but that's okay. And then like the cosmetic part is all unlocked through doing different challenges and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, and then basically you play through it. What I want to know is, and I haven't played with anybody yet, I want to see if it's the same difficulty if you add another co-op player, because right now I'm stuck.
Yeah, it's for what I understand, it is a lot harder if you try to go as solo. I was playing the co-op with Sam the other night, and I think we got to like the 4th or 5th story mission before like I had to jump off. But it definitely ramps up. But I think if you're in there with a partner, it's not easy per se, but it's a lot more manageable. Yeah,
there were some issues too with like, just for me anyway, I had a lot of issues like some of the controls and like it seemed like I wasn't blocking at all. Just like I was like, what the hell, man? Is this button not working? What is going on? So it's a lot more difficult than the base game. At normal difficulty, but it's still super fun. But it's a totally different aesthetic too. You're not going in there looking at these big, beautiful vistas. It's all kind of red and black and gray and
a horror movie almost. It's very interesting in that. Yeah, and the horde side of it, I played some of that as well, and it's interesting because for them not really talking about or us knowing that they were going to do a multiplayer component to it, they definitely, you can tell they put some thought into it. Because the classes, you definitely want to go in with the very class because they each offer something different. Like the Ronin can actually heal, and you definitely need that because these bastards in the horde are no joke, man. Like I don't know if you've seen because I know Angie said you didn't finish the game, but in certain parts of the game later on, you run into an area that you shouldn't be in, and you just get lit up with arrows.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah. So the archers, like in the horde mode, are so precision. And, they're kind of, I would say, almost a joke in the main game. You just kind of go and take them out.
Yeah.
You have to go take them out in this horde mode because these guys will just light you up from a distance.
It's
Okay.
disgusting.
So it's really cool. I say definitely check it out.
Okay.
I picked the assassin class because, like Dan said, I didn't realize you couldn't switch back and
That's
forth.
what I did. I wish I had.
Okay.
But it's really cool. So I definitely recommend it. I want to get back in and check out some more.
Oh, I mean, it should be. I'm really looking forward to playing it on PS5 now.
Same. I want to get back to it on that. I'm not gonna do a new game plus until I get that 60.
Yeah, no, I get you. Last weekend I was thinking, man, I'm gonna go back to Tsushima and finally finish that before next gen. And I was like, what am I thinking? I'm just gonna wait to play it.
Right.
Finish it on next gen. Although I say that now, and then Valhalla and Cyberpunk and everything else is gonna. I'm never gonna
go off jumping right into it and knocking it out this week.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, Dan, you've got Sackboy Miles Morales. Obviously, we talked about Ghost of Tsushima. Are you picking up any of these other titles like Falconer?
No.
Medium, you're not doing. Yakuza?
Nope.
Come on.
I'm off of my Yakuza kick for now. Here's the thing. I said it last week. The Yakuza games have always had that good balance of hilarity and seriousness to their story.
Yeah.
Which is always what drew me in. It was just enough. This one looks like it's kind of moving that needle for me. It's like it's going more to the ridiculousness plus the turn-based crap, which is, that's not what I wanted. But that, whatever. Yakuza has always been a fun just beat 'em up game. And I don't really get into beat 'em up games very much. Yeah. So when I finally found something that was, that had that nice story, and then it was interjected with that humor just at the right spots.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, oh man, it's kind of hilarious, and this one looks just so over the top, and that might be what a lot of people want, and that's fine. But having played, the other 6-7 games or whatever it is, it's I don't know, man. It's one of those games that I think will eventually come to Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
That, down the road, I might pick up if it's on sale. This game's been out for, since February in Japan, so it's, people know what it is. It's weird seeing like all these promos for a game that's been out for so long, when it's, and I've read a bunch of stuff about it.
So how did it get reviewed like by Famitsu or anything in Japan?
It did. It was like 38 out of 40, I think is what they gave it.
Oh, wow.
Back in February. So I got good reviews. It's just weird, that we don't even see that kind of stuff. Like nothing about it.
I wonder if, and I'm not, I keep joking with you about this game because I know you love Yakuza, but this one's kind of rubbed you the wrong way.
Yeah.
But I wonder, to your point about the goofiness, I wonder if they think maybe that's just the marketing scheme for it, that they're trying to make it funny and laughable. But when you play the game, maybe there's actually a serious story.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
No, they're 100%. There's got to be. You've seen kind of glimpses of it, from when he was, when he's talking about going to prison for, 18 years or whatever it is, I think is what they said, in the demos that they played. Yeah. So, and that's funny thing is like that kind of follows one of the Yakuza games. I want to say it was maybe the first Yakuza.
Okay.
So it's, I'm interested in it at, later on down the road, because there's so much other stuff coming out. And on the Series X, it's going to be mostly Valhalla, Cyberpunk.
Yeah. Okay.
And then if Tactics is going to be one of those games where I enjoy those kind of games. So I tried it on the PC. I'm just not a PC gamer. It's basically what it boils down to. Mm-hmm. So I'd like to get back into that and try it out a little bit on
Me too.
Xbox.
I did the same thing. I got about halfway through it, or maybe not even halfway on PC, and I'm hearing that it's really enhanced for Series X, and they've added stuff too, some little features and stuff, which is cool. And Gears 5, I think all of us have seen how ridiculous the updates are for that game. So I won't go back through that campaign right away because of everything we've talked about, but I can't wait to really replay Gears 5 as well.
And there's new DLC. Yeah, right.
Yeah, later for the Escape There's 3 core characters in the escape mode that they're going to build a 3 to 4 hour campaign DLC for, which is awesome. I love it. Yeah. So Asa, what's up?
Tactics too, though.
Sorry, Eric. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying I'll be checking out Tactics also.
Yeah. Did you play it on PC at all?
No, I don't. I don't have a PC like that. I'm on a Mac, so
again,
how that goes. So.
It's really good. It's a really well done, and it's not.
Right.
It's a true Gears game, and it's not like super over the top isometric style game in the sense of like mechanics. Like it's pretty straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
It's not overly complicated, so it's easy to get into. What was I going to say? The other cool thing about Tactics, not to stay on it, I've got my Gear shirt on, so I have to talk about it a bit, is that the main character is actually Kate's dad. There's a tie to Gears 5, but there's also a tie to the book that came out earlier this year that ties some of these stories together. So if you're into the Gears kind of universe, it's cool. Okay. So I was just saying, welcome back to Asa. Marion, good to see you, brother. I know for Marion, it's like 4 a.m. or something. So always crazy when he stops by when we're live here. So what didn't we talk about here? Tetris Effect Connected. Is that a big, I know Dan doesn't care for Tetris at all. Eric, any multiplayer Tetris in your future?
It's weird. Like I didn't even, that was on Nintendo Switch first, right?
It was.
This is like a version of that?
So Tetris 99 was on Switch, which was the Battle Royale Tetris.
Mm-hmm.
Tetris Effect was on PS4 with PSVR support.
Right. Okay.
What this is that game on PS4, but with actual multiplayer. The PS4 didn't have multiplayer.
Right. And Tetris Effect is going to be a Game Pass, right?
Good question. I don't know off the top of my head. If anyone in chat knows the answer to that, please let us know. I don't know.
Okay. I know the reason I say that too is because that's a good case point for Game Pass. Like I don't know if I would actually buy it,
right?
But I will definitely play it if it's in Game Pass, and I'll play it with my daughter, stuff like that. Yeah, I mean it's not high on my radar, but it's definitely one that might actually be one I might get my wife into. You know, she's not at all a gamer. It's very hard to get her to really pay attention to any of it.
Sure.
But there's Geometry Wars was like the last thing she was like addicted to. That game's fantastic. I still love that game. But she fell in love with Geometry Wars. So that kind of thing, she gets Tetris, she knows it's been around forever. Yeah. I would definitely check it out.
Cool. Elu says yes.
It's coming to it.
Okay. Good.
And then Pompa, what's up, brother? Cyberpunk, all that needs to be played. I'm honestly surprised no one has mentioned The Ascent. But not sure if that's launch window. Can't wait for Medium and Anthem 2.0. Of course, you had to throw that in there at the end, didn't you? We got an hour 22 into the show, and Anthem hadn't actually come up yet, so that's kind of hilarious.
Not true.
Did it come up already?
Yeah, Diego might have said something earlier.
Oh, okay.
Way earlier.
I might have blocked it out. I'm scarred. The Ascent actually looks really, really good, but we haven't heard about it since that gameplay demo. So I would think that if it's a launch title, we would be hearing about it right now, and we're not. So I have to assume that it's coming post-launch.
Right. And speaking of that, there hasn't been many updates either on like Bright Memory Infinite, right?
Right. Yes.
That's
so Bright Memory, the like couple-hour experience that you can play on Steam right now, that's coming.
Right.
Xbox at launch, but Infinite is like the full game for that, and we don't have a date for that yet.
Man, that looks awesome.
It does. Yeah, it looks really good. What else? We got Dirt 5. I'm a car guy, but Dirt doesn't really interest me.
No, same here.
Nope.
And then,
which is why I was laughing when people were like, going back and forth on. I'm like, no one gives a damn about Dirt like that. Stop it. I'm sure.
Right,
I'm sure Dirt has its fans.
Literally, nobody's gonna play it. They're gonna be like, "Oh, look at this, 120 FPS. Who gives a shit?" But, but you got no crowds. Shut up.
We're not to grinding gears yet. Calm it down.
Not yet.
And then, one of the big ones they've talked about too is the new Devil May Cry, the special edition with the next gen upgrades, and Devil May Cry 5. That is. I'm not going back to this, but didn't know if you guys were picking it up.
No, I already got it.
Yeah, it's sort of it's weird. I love that game, but I'm sort of in the same boat with that one as like Control. Okay. Sort of, if it gets a benefit from the next gen consoles, I'm okay with that. If it comes in, like again in Game Pass, or one day it shows up, sometimes these sales, it shows up like dirt cheap. Yeah, maybe then, but I don't know if I need to buy it again.
Yeah.
And I love Devil May Cry. I'm just saying, I don't know if I need to buy it again, but I don't know.
Sure.
Just to play as Virgil.
Yeah. Well, cool guys. Yeah, man, I'm super excited. For me, it's all about Legion, Valhalla, and Cyberpunk. Kind of those are the big three for me. I'm looking forward to going back and playing titles like Gears, but really for me, it's all about Legion, Valhalla, and Cyberpunk, because those, I've said it before, those games are like combined will be like 500 hours for me at least.
See, you talked about Monster Hunter World, man. You know, he's hyped for that.
You didn't have to bring that up, man. So that's more of an inside joke. Elu is always talking about Monster Hunter World, and we're trying to cure him. It's hard, you know. He's addicted. It's, you know, drugs are bad for you, and you know we try to help him, but he keeps talking about it.
I bet you got that question right yesterday on the Xbox trivia, though.
Probably,
I saw that. I was like, oh no.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, Elu's gonna get this.
Speaking of which,
I also got that.
That trivia didn't go too well, did it?
No. I was gonna ask you about one more game before we move.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the trivia was interesting, but what do you guys think about Outriders? Because that's another game that initially, to me, when it showed, didn't look very hot, but the more they keep showing it, it looks better and better.
Yep.
But what has me intrigued about it is it's doing the Borderlands thing with the Destiny aesthetic.
Yes, very true.
So I have my eye out on that one.
I'm very hyped for it. And the reason is exactly what you just said. It's a contained game that's focusing on loot.
Right.
In co-op. But they're, in my opinion, they're doing it the right way. Meaning you can play that game in co-op. It's not a service game, right? The game is complete as you buy it, even though they will add on to it in time. It is also optimized for next gen out of the gate. And it's cross play and cross progression out of the gate as well.
Damn, they're saying like all the right things.
Yeah.
So, real.
Yeah. So, and I love the gore. And people can fly. If you're not aware, right? They did Gears of War Judgment and they did Bulletstorm, and they're good with mechanics as well. You know, they're not Bungie tier. No one is, right? But their game, their shooting and stuff feels good. And I think as long as they nail that and the loot's decent, which it looks to be, it's got my attention for sure.
Yeah, same here, man. So definitely another game I'm pulling for.
Yeah, so that's February now.
Right.
So I was actually personally happy that got moved to February because I want them to take their time with it, get it right, especially what we've continued to see out of service games, right? Avengers, Anthem, Fallout. So we've talked about it. So get that game right. But it also obviously comes at a period which will be less packed around Cyberpunk and Valhalla.
Yeah,
totally agree. Going to be playing Cyberpunk at that point.
Yeah, I probably will. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, you know what'll happen, right? Is the Cyberpunk next gen patch will come out that same week as Outriders, and it's going to be like, oh, damn it.
And how are you going to juggle Demon Souls and Cyberpunk and?
I'm actually open to suggestions. So, so if you have some sort of project plan you could put forth for me,
I have nothing, man. I have nothing.
In all seriousness, so the nice thing with Demon Souls for me, so I'm incredibly pumped for that game. Love the Souls game, but I'm doing that as a stream series with a bunch of people and some friends. I did a Dark Souls 3 beginning to end run with DLC, and it became a really, really fun thing. In fact, I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did. And we've got a lot of inside jokes from it now and our character Whiskers. And so I'm looking forward to doing that. I'm doing a launch night stream on November 12th of Demon Souls. But the nice thing when you do that, right, is I'm only going to play that when I'm streaming. So that the viewers, you know, everyone who I kind of play with, if you will, we go through that game together. So that, at least we'll separate that one out. For streaming, but my big thing is I don't know how I'm gonna do Valhalla and Cyberpunk together.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Yeah, man.
I just don't know. So because Valhalla for me, I'm not a huge Assassin's Creed guy, but Origins and Odyssey spoke to me as a guy who likes big open RPGs, and Valhalla looks to tackle that. But I'm also English, right? So I love kind of English history and the landscape there, and then you add Vikings. It's like it's got all the components for me personally that I really love.
Right.
So I'm super excited for that. And then Cyberpunk goes without saying. I mean, you can kind of tell I'm a little hyped for it. But that will surprise me if it's not in my game of the generation conversation.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. I might end up actually jumping Valhalla up because there's two things like Norse mythology and Greek mythology that talk to me, you know. So yeah, it's again, man. I don't know. The time is the tough part.
Always. I do have a lot of vacation time around the holidays, which is nice.
Okay.
So I do plan on that. I already have like 2.5 weeks off when these systems launch.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'll have a lot of time off around Christmas as well. So that is the nice thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were we going to touch on? Cyberpunk. One thing I just wanted to comment on, and I don't know if you guys saw this or watched the video, but they showed this week this facial animation technology that they're using from a company named Jolly. I don't know if it's Holly or Jolly, but Jali Inc. But it's essentially this new kind of integration technology in the game engine that allows the facial animation to match more accurately or realistically what's being spoken by the characters. And what is most impressive about this is that they've done this for all 10 languages that Cyberpunk is dubbed in for all characters. So they were showing, there's a video, it's on our site if you haven't seen this. But they kind of demo this for you to show how even like the NPCs, when you speak to them, their mouths and the way their facial structure works will match up to whatever language you're playing in as they're speaking it. And it's incredibly impressive. And it goes to show two things, really. One, that CD Projekt Red, the investment they've made in this game is phenomenal, right? But also, two, it's just, again, as games get bigger and better, it really shows how impressive it can be and how realistic it can be with some of these things. So did you guys see this or check it out?
No, I didn't.
I watched it. It's insane at this point, the amount of stuff that's in this game and the amount of work they've done on it. I mean, you get to the point where it's like, well, what the hell else do I say? I mean, if this game doesn't come out and just, you know, assuming it's not a gigantic buggy mess, you know, which I hope it's not, it's going to be a contender for Game of the Year for several people. I mean,
Several.
I mean, several. I was going to say several outlets. I should say, you know, like, you know, it's going to be, and this is it. I mean, we talked about this last week. You know, my hype level is so, you know, through the roof right now for this game. I hope I'm not, you know, screwing myself over where I get to the point where I'm like, shit. Now, if it's not perfection, then I'm going to be disappointed at this point. But you know what? I think they can achieve it. You know, I think they can hit it. You know, that's I really have faith in them. You know, there's been so much work put into it. You know, plus the crunch. You know, that probably helped a little bit. Yeah.
Star. I don't know. Personally, for me, I know it's almost hyperbole at this point, but I firmly believe that once as the dust settles, the problem you're going to have with a game like this is there's going to be a million hot takes, right? Yeah. And games that are this deep and this extensive, like The Witcher, like Red Dead 2, where to really, really experience everything in that game, you've got to invest the time and really invest in the game. We're not going to fully understand everything that's in this game until weeks and months after release. So I'm going to try to ignore the hot takes, but I firmly believe that when the dust settles 6 months from now, and we look at what Cyberpunk 2077 accomplished, I have little to no doubt that it may not only be the game of the generation, but one of the greatest games of all time.
I mean, there's little doubt, man.
I tell you what, man, it's definitely got the potential, and at the same time, man, I mean, just for how long it's been in development, like the delays and everything else, I mean, it's got all eyes on it.
Yeah, it does. That's why I said the hot takes are going to be. You're going to get people immediately. People first day, they're going to say this is game of the generation,
right?
And you're going to have the other people trying to cause a stir by saying this game's overrated. It's not very good.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know, same thing as always.
Yeah, people saying this isn't worth the crunch, and then that'll be Jason Schreier.
What does that say, like commentary wise, about where we are in the bubble of Twitter, where it's like we can peg how it's all going to go no matter what?
Yeah, that's true.
It's so predictable.
Very predictable. Yes.
You know.
And it's not even just Twitter. Like if you look across, we joke around like the YouTube videos that come out and all these other things that come out. It's so predictable and so samey. It's ridiculous. I joked last week that there was that side comment in one interview that Phil made about Bethesda when he was questioned about the Bethesda deal. And I was like, I said, wait for it. You're just going to see a ton of videos and articles with Bethesda, Spencer, and exclusives in the title. And it was like clockwork, There was a video from every YouTube creator that we all are familiar with, from every site. And it's just like, it's very predictable. All right. On better news, we've been kind of wondering where the PS5s have been, in the sense of, other than the crazy Japanese YouTube thing a couple weeks ago, we really hadn't seen any in the wild. Well, thankfully that ended yesterday, as it looks like a coordinated kind of, delivery to a bunch of the big content creators and outlets, right? Like Greg Miller, of course, people like Keeley. Keeley had his a while ago. But it was cool to see him in the wild, cool to see people posting about it. Here's the one thing I wanted to just comment on, if I can find the damn thing, is this is Greg Miller's, picture of it arriving in his house. And the box is really interesting to me because you look at the Series X box, it's really going for this really kind of future-looking aesthetic. And this box is very, very plain. In fact, it reminds me a lot. I think they might have been going for the PS1 box from way back when, where it's just kind of like the console and the symbols. But I like seeing these out in the wild now. So it just reaffirms how close we are to having these ourselves. And I'm pumped about it.
Remember the PS2 box was just blue?
Just blue. Yeah, I still have it. The PS2. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So it looks like they were going for that more kind of subdued approach, but nothing wrong with it. So
we're getting there, boys.
There. 15 pounds, by the way. The box is 15 pounds.
It's a big baby.
Yeah, it's a big boy. Big boy. So they said the Series X is 10 pounds. The console is 10 pounds. So I was trying to do the math of like, all right, PS5 box, you got some packaging, you got the DualSense, you got the power cord, that means the PS5 is probably in that same range, probably 11 pounds or so. That heat sink's probably 8 of it.
Yeah, it's humongous.
Yeah.
I just want to get it. I just want to get it and start playing it. I'm so tired of waiting.
Yeah, no doubt.
For both these things.
Yep.
So are you guys team vertical or team horizontal?
Vertical. I don't have a choice.
He's only got 10-foot ceiling, so vertical's not an option on the PS5.
No, I'm literally. I've already ordered my wall mounts, so I'm not even going to be looking at these. You know what I also ordered, James?
Go ahead.
The stupid black.
Me too. Yeah.
And I'm putting it behind my TV.
Oh, I didn't.
I'm never going to see it. I don't even know why I do these things to myself.
I don't know. I don't know.
I gotta find a stud though, because those things are you can be able to just hang them in drywall.
Yeah. So what he's referring to is the Plate Station, I think it was called.
Yeah, Plate Station 5.
Plate Station is already selling the what are they calling them?
The wings or something?
Panels probably. I was gonna say flaps, but that just sounds bad. So we'll go with panels.
Yeah.
The panels, and you can buy blue, red, matte black, silver, and I think like one other. Camo. Thank you.
Blue and red. Yeah.
Matte black fly off the shelf, man.
Dan and I both bought them already.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I think that's gonna be like their one.
Yeah.
Because it just looks better. The console looks better in like all black.
Yeah, and for me, it's vertical on a top of an entertainment rack. So the Series X and the PS5, both blacks in there, will look awesome. Vertical. But I also wanted to, for our viewers and our channel and stuff, actually change those panels out. Do you know what I mean? And kind of show what that's like to do it. Should be quick and easy, I would imagine. But it at least shows people what it's like.
Let me ask you this too. Like when it comes to the panels, are there like a set for the disc version and then a set for the? Okay, yes. I figured as much. Okay.
Yeah. You choose the same price. So I actually thought the disc one were going to be more expensive because it's wider, but it's the same price.
Okay, man. People are about to make some money off of these things, man.
$40. $48.
Not off of Bizzle because he doesn't pay for flaps.
No,
but we talked about this 2 weeks ago, Dan, I think. But what I was saying is that when they did the teardown, Eric, is for custom consoles now, like the Last of Us or God of War, what have you. My opinion is that they won't do those anymore for PlayStation. Instead, they will sell the replaceable, licensed kind of flaps.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm going with flaps. That's
we're just
Let's do flaps. Let's go with flaps. No, 100%, man.
Yeah, the ROI on it is it's way more than trying to customize a console itself.
Well, yeah, you could package it together with like a steelbook and a physical copy of the game, and there's your special edition.
Yeah,
that's the sky's the limit, man. And third party can get crazy with them too. You know, I think you're gonna start seeing them too, where it's not gonna be like with the height of them. They're gonna be like flush with the actual unit itself and things like that.
That's true. Very good point.
With that. And actually, I mean, it kind of keeps you out of working or worrying about the cost of doing special editions.
Yes, exactly
right. You got 100 different options. Go and have fun. And it kind of it's funny because I remember some of those PS4 editions. And I was like, man, what is that? And I made the joke like years ago. I said they should just start treating these things like Happy Meals and putting stickers in the box. You can customize your PlayStation however you want. And theoretically, they've kind of done that now.
Yeah,
so go for it.
Yeah, they've set themselves up, and Dano's exactly right here. What's up, Dano? He says people with 3D printers are going to be banking it.
Oh,
and to be honest with you, I think that's what the things we're getting aren't they? It wouldn't surprise me. I don't know how they're making them. That's part of what I want to check out is what the quality of these things are.
True. So, but I can see Pope, man. Pope can go crazy with these things.
Yep. Some of those guys online that design stuff, but I hadn't thought to your point around, if you don't like that kind of pop collar look on your PS5,
Fonzie look,
you could just round it off to match the top, right? You could just make it. Yeah, that's interesting to think about.
That's just extra like plastic up there. It's not really aesthetically doing anything. It's just like aesthetic, right?
Yeah, it's not doing anything.
Like function-wise.
If you had it vertical, right, you could make some with like arms that attach to it. And like have like arms coming out of it that are like holding guns. There's so much you can do with this thing. Or like put like some kind of attachment where you can just like kind of screw on like an arm and like have it like move your finger. Man, somebody needs to put.
You went further than me. I was going to say you could put little clips for your controllers on the side or stuff.
Yeah, you could do that too. You could actually have it holding a DualSense.
Yeah, like
with hands, hands coming out, like holding and like. Eyes and man, you so much with that. Now I'm excited.
You need a Bug Snack Strawberry PlayStation 5.
There you go.
There you go.
Done.
Man.
Done. Speaking of which, all jokes aside, is Bug Snacks? Have we heard is there a launch date for that? Is it launch?
It's on launch day. It's the 12th.
It is. Okay. All right. I couldn't remember. Dan, you picking it up?
That one? Yeah, of course. That one we don't even have to talk about. It's just going to happen.
Don't we?
Yep.
Is Bug Snacks another $70 game?
I don't know how much it is.
God, I hope not.
Yeah, me too.
Because I was actually thinking about this, and I know Dan mentioned Destruction All-Stars, and I kind of think, to me personally, I don't know what the game is yet or what it's going to offer, but I still think that's one of those games that, just looking at what we've seen, should fall more into the like the $60 range still.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
the Destruction All-Stars.
Yeah. That's just me. I don't know. I just
Sackboy's 50,
something like that. Yeah, which kind of makes sense. That's like that family friendly. You want that. So I don't know. Unless there's some robust thing going on with Destruction All Stars. I don't know.
$25.
Bug Snacks.
That's what it says here, but
he always said Bug Snacks should be $80.
Sounds about $20 expensive, but say.
November 12th for the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, PC for $24.99.
Okay. I honestly, we've joked about it, but because that game has become such a running meme and joke, it's going to sell more copies.
And for that price, it's going to go crazy. Yeah.
I would put out like the strawberries and hot dogs, like special edition or something,
Well, I'm the idiot who bought, well, maybe not an idiot, but I'm the guy who's buying the Sackboy special edition with the plush Sackboy. Have you seen that?
Yeah, that's the one I actually want to pick up.
Yeah, see, we're all idiots around here.
Exactly, man. They know how to get us, man. It's just like you put together like a nice packaging and
man, look, Sackboy in his tiger outfit. I'm all over it. Let's go.
Look at that. That's like Nintendo level packaging right there, man.
Sure
I just want the Ghost of Tsushima skin.
Yeah,
That's gonna be awesome.
Man. Yeah.
yeah. I'm looking for it right now, Dan, to show you
Well, that and who else? It's got the guy from Days Gone.
right here. This one.
Hilarious.
Yeah, man.
Like, I don't know who decided Connor was a good idea.
Yeah,
but
from
whatever.
Quantic Dream, yeah. But yeah, I think the Day's Gone. It's got what's his name from Death Stranding. But
Norman Reedus.
Yeah.
But seriously, but on the Bugsnax thing, I know it's definitely become like the meme. But those are the types of games, man. If it has like the right formula,
yeah,
it could be huge for streamers. I think.
I was just gonna say, if people pick it up streaming, it'll sell like crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
The next thing you know, there's like Bugsnax Lego and Bugsnax Happy Meals. And
oh my God, let's hope not.
Never know.
All right, so the only other thing I was going to mention is that they kind of figured out what that November 9th thing was for Xbox New Zealand, and they kind of confirmed in so many words that it's a launch event. And we should have kind of figured this out because Australia always does the launch first, right, because of the time zone. And in the past with Xbox, with 360 and other things, Halo 3, they did huge launch events in Australia to kick off the worldwide launch. So it seems like they're going to do some big event on November 9th, starting in New Zealand for the Series console. So that should be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See
Whatever.
Yeah. Hopefully they announce, maybe not announce games, but show a bunch of shit. We'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We haven't done grinding our gears. Dan, I don't know if you come in. Eric, I don't know. We didn't do this last time, but we have a little section we throw up here. If anything you want to get off your chest that's bothering you, it's more of a rant section, but we don't go too crazy with it. But
That's not true.
Sometimes we do. Sometimes we do.
Come on.
So anything you want to touch on, Dan? Eric?
I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk
you're
a
not
minute.
obligated.
Let's talk a minute about yesterday's trivia debacle.
Okay.
First of all,
Okay.
I don't understand how a tech company as big as Microsoft, with a cloud service that's one of the top in the world, probably top 3. You couldn't. I'm trying to picture this conversation. It's like, hey guys, we're going to have 25,000 people. That's the limit. That's how many people we signed up. Can you handle this? It's third party, whatever it was, crowd, whatever. Yeah, we got this, dudes. No problem. Now, as that third party, why you have a potential to, get in cahoots here with one of the biggest tech companies, in the world, and you blew it. You blew it. Like Microsoft's like, listen, we've got these servers. You ever heard of them? They're amazing. And it's, would you like to, work out a deal? You can come borrow some of our servers. You get the 360 blades. We're not giving you the X blades. You can use the 360 blades. No, we got this. What a fucking clusterfuck. It's so disappointing. It's like when everything launched, when they had the pre-orders go up. I mean, they had to know they were going to get this kind of traffic.
Yeah, in fact, the most I saw in live chat was 4,800.
Yeah,
I think there was more than 5,000 people.
It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
I feel super bad for those guys too.
I feel bad for the host. Is that what you're talking about?
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah, because I tweeted about it last night, and I said, hey, man, technical issues do come up. But Dan, you're 100% right. It's like you're the tech company, so it's like one of those things. Like even if you have a hiccup, you should be able to come back. Like I didn't even know the whole damn thing was going to shut down. I'm sitting there kind of waiting, and I'm sitting there doing some work, and I'm like, oh, they're done. I thought they were still just waiting for it.
They said, hey, guys, we're good. We're just going to talk to some people.
I said that tweet because I felt horrible for the host. I'm like, man, these guys have to filibuster try to figure this thing out. And they're probably sitting there like sweating.
They were doing that the whole show. They were just like going off. I was like, oh my God, these guys were not ready for this.
Yeah, that's
you could tell they were trying to get people on the horn, like Stein and Greenberg, we need some help. Come in here and
I swear, I thought at one point they were just going to turn each other. So, how's your mom doing? It's like, oh, poor guys, man.
No, it's crazy to me, man. And just get your shit together. I mean, and if you're going to do this thing, I understand stuff happens, but there's so many fucking apologists for either Xbox or PlayStation. It makes me sick. Like when somebody, I don't know who it was that tweeted it out. It's just like, hey, thanks for rolling with us. Shit happens. We're sorry. And it's like, yeah, it's all good. It's fine. Hold them accountable for a goddamn change. Hey, you fucks, you're the biggest tech company in the world. Just do something. It should have been the same way for if PlayStation pulled some of this stupid shit. Nobody ever holds anybody accountable anymore.
Yeah,
it's always just like, yeah, let me just, that's all I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing. It sucks. I hate Twitter so much. But yeah, anyway.
Again, as someone who's dealt with some stuff in this realm, I'm not apologizing for them. They should have had their shit together. Bar none.
Damn right they should have.
And they should have had a backup plan and a backup plan to the backup plan in case something like this happened. The person that I don't necessarily feel bad for, but I would love to be on a fly on a wall, is the guy responsible for this infrastructure setup because they were not prepared last night at all.
No, not one bit. It was fucking terrible.
Yeah. On that side of it was a mess because it was like, because they actually kind of confused me at one point because I know they said, okay, the first round got jacked. We're not going to go do that because people may have looked it up. We're going to push everyone to round 2. And then they came back and they're like, now we're pushing everyone to round 4. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, from 1 to 4.
I'm like, who's going to win this thing? And so I'm like, oh, all right, Series X is for everybody. Let's go.
That's what I was saying. I was like, oh, this is going to be great.
So, but no, 100%. And actually, Dan, I wonder if I can piggyback off of what you're saying for a grind my gears. That is 100% where like my mentality is. I kind of get annoyed with just trying to be a fan of things, right? Because I always feel like fans will always be fans of something, but always hold that thing that they love accountable. They'll give the praise when it's due and be on their ass when it's not. And it gets on my nerves on all sides of it when, these extremists get pissed at normal fans for just being vocal.
Yep.
A lot of times I don't even say anything on Twitter. I just make jokes and keep it moving because it's hard to like be critical because you're always thinking about, do I really want to send this? And, tag, whoever I want to tag because I'm opening myself up to my mentions just being a complete mess the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Right. Or that person that comes in and completely takes off task what you were initially trying to say. All that stuff annoys the hell out of me. Right. But holding companies accountable. And again, these are companies. They're not like family. They're not friends. They're friendly.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about PlayStation and Nintendo. I don't know if they're friendly. Microsoft's very friendly with it, but at the end of the day, they have a goal, and their goal is no matter how friendly a company's being or however they want to go about it, their goal is to separate you from your wallet, right? So you can, as long as there's a transaction where you're giving tons of your money, tons of your time, whatever the case may be, you can be as vocal as you need to be and give praise when you need to. There's nothing wrong with, being critical. Being critical means that you care and you want this thing that you care about to be the best it can be. And the only way people get better is to be critical, but you can be constructive and be critical. You don't have to be like a toxic troll or be a dickhead about it.
Yep.
But at the same time, if someone who's a fan is trying to be critical and speak their mind, you can disagree or you can agree, but you don't have to come in and be like, you're completely effing wrong and you're an asshole for even saying it and all this other stuff. It's like,
yeah,
what are we doing here?
Yep. No, I think you said all that well. I don't really have anything to add. I agree 100%. Dan and I probably yell about that at least once a week on this show. Just call a spade. You're exactly right. They deserve praise when they do things, and Xbox has deserved a lot of praise lately. They've done a lot of the right things. Right. Last night was not one of those things. They dropped the ball pretty big, especially considering this is supposed to be for your core fans. The hardcore ones, right, that are there through thick and thin. You should have been better prepared. There's no excuse for it. So
yeah,
suck it.
It kind of makes me think back. I don't know if you guys remember this, but was a few years ago when they first showed Crackdown 3 at Comic-Con and how off the rails that thing went. And I'll never forget looking at Major Nelson. He just had this look on his face like someone's going to die for putting me in this position. And I remember like one of the guys took the microphone, he's sticking it up his nose, and they're all drunk and everyone's like crazy. And then the next segment they come back and Larry's not there anymore. I'm like, Larry's on the phone with somebody right now. Like, get me the hell out of here. I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
But it's just that thing, man. First of all, when you go live, anything can happen.
100%. Yeah.
But like you said, you got to have like you said, Ainge, you got to have the backup to the backup.
Yeah. Well, it's like E3. E3 is live, right? And that's the way Microsoft does that. But when you hear them talk about their planning for E3, it's incredibly extensive. And they have backups in case all types of things fail. In fact, if anyone listened to that Major Nelson interview with Todd Howard, Pete Hines, and Phil Spencer recently, they talk about one of the failures they had at E3 on the stage. They had a code word for it, which I forget now. But essentially, the whole controller connection to demoing the game failed, and they had to fail over to pre-recorded footage. But they did it, and no one noticed because you know why? Because they planned properly. Anything you're doing, both when you do from application side and you're doing it live, and you combine those two things together, you have to have contingency planning in place. You have to. Very clear they didn't have that last night. And to Dan's point, I don't know why. There's no excuse for it. It's not a resource conversation. You have the best resources for this type of thing in the damn world. Make it happen.
So. Yeah, but that's, at the same time, you definitely be critical on that. But, I gave them the shout out for saying, hey, man, at least you guys try to do something cool, like in this pandemic scenario, you know what I'm saying? So
I agree. At least they're trying to do things with the fans.
Right.
Like I appreciate that. I appreciate the digital fan fest approach. We've said before, they are way more engaging with their fans than Sony and Nintendo are. And I think a lot of people appreciate that. And on the flip side, as we were talking about extremists, I think a lot of people take that for granted as if they are part of some family, to your point.
Right.
And they do it like a family, and it's not a family. It's a company.
And one thing I'll say about them is 100%. They are very good about making good on something that got jacked up. So I know Phil mentioned that. He said, we'll figure something out. I know they even said at one point they were going to give everyone who attended like 5,000 points, and they still get the coupon, the whole nine. But Phil, I think, even said on top of that, they're going to figure something out, for the screw up. And so I've always admired that about them, because I'll never forget this. There was one point where Fallout 4 went free on Xbox Live. It was a complete mess up, right? I don't know if you guys remember this, a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And everyone ran to download it, and then they had to take it back because that was obviously an error.
Yep.
So in that, they took it back, but then said, hey, for the trouble, we're giving everybody $10 credit. I'm like, holy crap. Like they didn't have to do that. It's like everyone kind of got excited, but at the same time, it's sort of like, we messed that up, but still giving people $10 credit for running to download something that was an error.
Yeah. Running to take advantage of something.
Yeah. So I'm like, damn, that's pretty awesome, man. Yeah.
I see several people in chat saying they forgot about FanFest last night and missed it. Trust me, you didn't miss anything. Whatever you were doing,
you were fine.
Your time better than what we did. Trust me.
Oh yeah. That's about 3 hours.
Yeah, well, for me, it got to like an hour 15 in, and they were still having server issues. And I was in a party with some guys, and I just said, it's not worth it to me. It's not worth it to stay in this. So I just went and played a game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a mess. Anyway, I think that was probably a cover all basis of grinding gears there.
There you go.
I think, that's a good shout out. So let's talk about games that released. So a couple things this week to just touch on is Rainbow Six Siege is in Game Pass. I know one of you mentioned, I think, Dan, you said your son was playing it. Immortals Phoenix Rising, one of the big announcements for Stadia this week. Stadia was trying to generate some buzz. They were trying. What they said is they have a week-long free demo of Immortals Phoenix Rising, which is Ubisoft's new title, the Gods and Monsters rename, that's coming out in December. So you don't have to sign. You have to sign up for Stadia, but you don't have to subscribe. Like, you don't have to do that free sub thing. You can just actually sign up and then play. And that runs through, I think, the 29th. So if you're interested in that game, check it out. I actually did download it, played it on my PC the other night for about 45 minutes, an hour. To be fair, from a Stadia perspective, I had no issue. There was no connection issue. It played smoothly. It felt fine. You could tell that the resolution, was lower. It definitely wasn't anything looking amazing, but it played fine. As for the game itself, I don't know. Did either of you get a chance to check it out?
No, I did.
Okay. So I won't stay on it too long, but I think it has potential. It's an interesting mix. It's got an aesthetic similar to more cartoony in a way. And it's got what I didn't expect is it's got a sense of humor. Like, the writing in it is meant to be more kind of, I won't say kid friendly, but kind of comical and funny. And then it's like kind of got this hack and slashy gameplay. So it's a weird mix. I'm interested to play it more. I'll probably talk more about it next week. But I don't know if that's going to be one I'm going to pick up on day one in December or not. We'll see.
Right.
But it's out there.
It looks really cool. You know, I have interest in it in that regard. I didn't do the Stadia thing. I said I'll just wait until, you know, the game's like out and people kind of have their hands on it. But yeah, I can. That's pretty cool though. It has like a humor to it because it kind of looks like a Kid Icarus mixed with Darksiders in a way.
Yeah, that's an interesting.
Which I never thought I'd say, but yeah.
It does kind of feel like that in a way. But anyway, if nothing else, it did not feel like, or did not look like I was playing this on a 1X or PS4 Pro or even next gen. So if my first experience with Stadia, like I said, played well, but definitely wasn't up to the what you would expect from the experience standpoint.
Right.
Just as an FYI to everyone, there's a couple free games on Epic Games right now, including Layers of Fear 2. You know, there's a lot of Halloween-y things going on right now. And there's events, The Haunting of Verdansk in Call of Duty. Rocket League has their Haunted Hollows. Spellbreak has a Halloween event. So, you know, all these Halloween events are currently out there with things going on. So, Eric, what have you been up to game-wise lately? You playing anything kind of new or interesting?
I'm kind of jumping around, man. I started checking out Genshin Impact.
Okay, yeah.
Which is pretty cool. I was actually, for free to play. It's deep, man. It has like a lot of good systems in it. So I've been playing that. I've finally been playing through Link's Awakening because I've had that in my backlog forever.
Oh, the Switch reboot one?
Yeah. So I've been jumping on that and still playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2.
Awesome.
1 and 2.
It is awesome.
Yeah, Ains, I got some serious gaming ADD going on right now, man. I don't feel like I can commit to anything.
Right. Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
Really weird. So
I've heard that from a lot of people. Dan, I think you said you're in the same boat too, right? It's like feels like a holdover right now until we get to next gen at this point.
Yeah, I'm pretty much just kind of knocking stuff up. I've actually been watching a lot more like TV and movies, and
same here.
It's weird because I'm it's kind of like normally I'd be all over it, you know, but it's just now I want to wait. You know, you want to get to that point where it's just like it's so close. You know, you're talking, 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Oh, I was also playing Tell Me Why. That's the other one I've been.
Okay. So how you liking that? I started it, but it didn't really pull me in.
First episode was okay. Like, you know, so far I still think Life is Strange 2 kind of pulled me in more.
Okay.
Playing that one.
Yeah.
But I'm intrigued enough to continue. I kind of want to see where it goes. I'm not over the moon about it. And maybe it's because people were like hyping it up so much.
Yeah.
You know, from when they first jumped into it. But I'm going to keep checking it out. But that's the good thing about games like that. Like, you don't have to overly commit to them. You can kind of pick them up whenever, get back in and play.
Yeah.
So,
that's another Game Pass title too.
Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, man.
Cool. Dan, you got anything fresh going on?
Just Ghost and more House.
What you guys touched on.
Yeah.
I'm going to get back into that too.
You still trying to conquer Crash at all?
Yeah, it's one of those games where you kind of just jump into, play a level, and then, do whatever. Actually, I haven't really turned my Xbox on too much this week just because of Legends. So I need to get to Hades and, try it out. I've been wanting to do it for a while, and I've got it. It's just one of those things where it's like, why, why am I, because it really doesn't do anything for me. I can play it. I'm like, I don't have to wait on that one. It should be a one. I also have Torchlight 3. Haven't touched it yet. It's so dumb. I'm so dumb. Whatever.
I tell you, man. I started Hades and didn't go back to, not because it wasn't good. It was really, really fun what I was playing. But again, it's just weird. I have no commitment to any one particular thing right now. Yeah, that's usually not how I game. Like, I usually focus on a game until I'm done. And it's just not sticking lately.
Yeah. I'm with you. NHL for me kind of came out at a good time because that's a game I played with buddies as a team game. And so it seemed to come at the perfect time because I was feeling the same way. There's not a single player. I was trying to finish Mafia, and I think I'm actually really close. So I may kind of push through because I'm really liking the story. And I hadn't played it when it first came out, so that's really good. And we've been talking about that one, but yeah, the same thing, man. On the same thing. So I think we're all ready.
Yeah. Hey Dan, is Crash as difficult as people saying?
Well, I'm like the worst person you can like ask that question to. I already suck. Like there's two ways to play it. You can play like the old school way where you have a certain set amount of lives, or you can play it the new way, which is basically you have unlimited lives. You just have to, it just goes down against your, completion thing. I think.
Okay.
There's some places where it's just like, damn it, that's hard. Where it's just you've gone through it so many times, and you have to hit it just right on some of these jumps. So yeah, it's a little bit tough, but I'm making my way through slowly but surely. That's why it's only like one level usually, because they're pretty good size, and it looks gorgeous. That's one of the best parts about it. It's an amazing looking game.
Yeah, you were saying Crash is tough for sure. Yeah,
that's what I've been hearing, man.
Yeah, and that's one of those games. I love platformers, love Crash, but because of how I'm feeling about games right now, I didn't buy it because it's like I know I won't play it.
Right,
it sucks. So I hope not a lot of people did that. I hope people bought it because we've all been asking for these games to come back. They finally spent the time, made a really highly reviewed new version, and I just hope it sold well so we continue to get them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same here.
Like Banjo, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which I do think that's coming, man. Honestly,
I hope so. Don't let Dan. I'm gonna mute Dan real quick. Don't worry. All right, guys. Got a few things to touch on for closing out here, but before I do that, Eric, I just want to thank you for coming on, man. You want to give a shout out where we can find you and what you've been up to?
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on. First of all, and I love being on here talking to you guys, man. You're two of the cooler guys on Twitter and in the community, man, hands down.
Appreciate it.
I definitely recommend anybody listening to follow both of you. Yeah, these guys are 100% gamers. You actually talk about games you're playing and games you're excited about, which is
crazy, right?
Crazy. It's an odd thing, man. It's a very weird thing. So, but no, you can find me on Twitter, EC Jackson with an X, just kind of out there putting out stupid little memes and trying to make people laugh for the most part. Other than that, Gaming Perspective tonight, 8:00 with Sam Tolbert, Nicholas Downey, and Jarrett. And what's that?
Is he coming back?
Yeah, Jarrett's coming back forever. Return of Jarrett.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So other than that, yeah, Brat Podcast, Wednesday nights, 9:00 with Enrique, Slow Mo Backslap, Gaming Forte, and B Money.
Nice.
There you go. Dan, did you get everyone off your dongle?
Yeah.
First time I did. Get off my dongle.
We're good to go. Yeah, guys. I mean, I don't ever have any shout outs because
I know. I just, if there's anything you want to yell out.
Yeah, just, check out the podcast. Don't follow me on Twitter, please.
You can't take any more.
I feel like like with Twitter, I always feel obligated to follow the person back. But like recently, I've just gotten to the point where I'm on it much less than I usually am. So I don't feel obligated anymore. So no offense. I love you all. I just try to keep it clean. Not like vulgarly. I can give a shit less. You can say whatever you want.
Right.
Just the timeline. Got to keep it fresh.
That's the reality of it, though, man. That's just the reality. It's like you kind of have to make the community that you want in some ways. Like you just can't interact with everyone because some people are just going to annoy the shit out of you.
Yeah, it's not even them usually. It's not. That's the thing is, it's. I've said it before. It's always that the people that follow that person.
Right.
It's never like you can find like the best person in the world, and they'll attract because they have like one hot take.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm pushing for all news outlets turn off the replies on their tweets. It would save us so many problems and so much discussion. Just like, here's some news. Okay. Nobody needs to talk about it. I don't need to know anybody else's goddamn opinion about it. I just want the news, and instead you get people like Yeah, but PS5 is like partial RDNA too. Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
You know, that's the problem. You know, but you know, then there's an engagement issue. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, that's how Twitter's built. Twitter is built to, like, from as far as I can tell, from an algorithm standpoint, to do things to kind of trigger you or to get you to engage with things that you probably otherwise wouldn't. Because otherwise, why does it like retweet, like someone who you follow retweet someone that you have no contact with into your timeline, or someone that shows you a like from someone or someone who likes something from someone again who you're like, that person's annoying to me. Mm-hmm. Or it suggests people who you're like, I would never follow this person. Why are you suggesting this?
Yeah,
you know, it's just weird. You know,
it's the way social media works, man.
What's that, Ames?
I said it's the way social media works.
Yeah.
It's designed that way on purpose. But
which I would recommend if no one's watched the Social Dilemma on Netflix.
Yes,
watch that.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. And on that note, I was going to be a little more serious for a second and just say I realized that it is October 24th as you're listening. And, you know, especially here in the U.S., for our U.S. listeners, we realize that we're in crunch time, not just for the new gaming consoles, but in election time. And election time brings out the worst in a lot of people, sadly. So, you know, try and be good. I think our audience is fine in the sense of everyone here seems ultra friendly, which is great and how we like it. But I know it can be a stressful time for a lot of people. So take care of yourself, take care of your family, take care of each other. And, you know, just make sure to vote. I know that's that's cliche, but it matters. It really matters.
It really does.
So vote, and I'm not telling you who to vote for, but I am going to say that vote for people that make the world a better place, not worse. We need more of that around here. So, and on that PSA, you know, I will end by saying thank you. That was Bitcast 128. We have for Season Gaming, we have some new articles coming this week. We have more next gen coverage. You know, we're going to be talking obviously a lot about next gen, as everyone will be. We have some other shows and guests planned here in the near future, which are going to be really fun. I think I mentioned it before, but December 1st is our 5-year anniversary for Season Gaming. The very first article that ever went up when I posted Season Gaming is coming was December 1st, 2015. And so we've got some things in the works for that as well. And I'm going to be doing over the next month some charity live streams as well for Extra Life and other things. So kind of a lot going on from a community perspective. So definitely stay tuned there. And one kind of funny thing I've joked about, but I'm actually working on getting live soon is, you know, I want to thank everyone who's ordered Season Gaming merchandise. We've got a lot of sales lately, and it's really cool to see. But I also sent a donation to Special Effect and Able Gamers earlier this week, the latest donation, which is always a good thing to do from Season Gaming. So thank you all for that. And very soon here, within the next few days, we're going to have Season Gaming themed face masks in the store. So if you need a new face mask while you're out in public trying to avoid the COVID, now you can support Season Gaming and our gaming charities while doing so as well. So I will obviously announce when those officially come out, but soon.
Cool.
I think that's everything. So thanks again, Eric. Been a pleasure, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, chat. You've been awesome as always. Really appreciate everyone stopping by. That was Bitcast 128, and we will see you next week. Peace.